All right, what's next, fellas?
Alrighty. We have. You already know what it is. You know what time it is. I don't know. Hold on.
All
Let me
right,
kind of do this. Uh, and move
I'll hang out
this.
as long as possible. I don't know if my wife's gonna come in here and try to give me the baby, but she be well within her right to because it's been a while. We've been so.
We have the official Houston FGC tier list that we're going to be making. Each character represents the character that a person plays. Yeah, these are characters that nobody plays, and so we're going to be discussing who we think are the greatest and the best. But before I do that, I'd like to plug to the YouTube channel for those of you that see.
Bruh.
It's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
follow me on YouTube, Narukami 2D. I mean, you can definitely check out the set that we was talking about on the channel. I mean, we got an Ibuki
I need my
guy. We
countdown
got some.
skip button, bro.
we got tutorials on here. Hold on, let me pull up the analytics.
Oh man.
No, drop the link in the chat for you guys.
I think there's a meme about that. It's
Go
like
ahead.
we don't hate your channel because we hate it because you put commercials on it.
But yeah, go ahead and give your boy follow to YouTube
Oh
if
man.
you enjoy the content.
That's what's up though.
But yeah, but let's go ahead and get into this right here.
The tier
The
list.
tier list.
All right.
So
First up, anything Rawls says doesn't matter. He put Subway in S tier earlier today.
Damn right.
His opinion is
Damn
trash.
right. Yeah. Subway over Jersey Mike's. Yeah, go sit down.
Yeah,
Be quiet. Go sit in the corner.
Wow. He's wilding today.
All right, so how are we going to discuss this? Does offline events count more than online, or let's? What do you think?
I think I would think offline counts more than offline.
Yeah, I
But
would.
offline you can take in online we can take in consideration, but I would say okay, online take will only matter depending on if the person is like even with someone as far as like offline events.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
But it's not really an ordered tier list, per se, unless you guys want to order it. But
No, just
yeah,
as it is, and we'll just go along.
yeah, it's just tiers, and so we have S tier being like whenever we have an event, they're more than likely gonna win. So we'll say about like 89% chance they're gonna win because there's still a chance that the A tier players could beat them on any given day. And so we have the A tier, which 60-70% chance of winning an event. But then their chances go up to 90 to 80% chance if the S tier is not there. Then we have B tier, C tier, D tier, and so on. So yeah, I mean these are I don't think these are going to be debatable at all. So for S tier we have I don't know. I mean he says he's still not playing, but I'm pretty sure he's still playing. We have Hamad. No Sagat for Hamad. And then we also have, D up there. We know he's a family man. Shouts out to him. But these guys are definitely the best that we have so far. And anytime we have an event, they're more than likely going to win because their skill level is just so high.
So is this only taken into account where we think they are currently, or are we taking everything overall since they've been playing into account too?
I
Because
currently,
it doesn't
Because
change
currently
anything
it's-
about Hamad.
yeah.
either.
It doesn't change
Yeah.
anything currently.
But I'm thinking, Jan in his prime goes in S tier too.
Yeah, I would think so. But Jan's not on this list because he's not an active player, so he doesn't count.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So it is
The-
somewhat recent.
these guys are well either they might have taken a step back, they're still active, sort of kind of stuff. We still have to put them up there because again they just do the best.
Okay.
And there's no debating that. There's no saying otherwise. That's where we just gotta put them.
Yeah, I don't hear any dissent on
Yeah, I was like,
those two picks, right?
Completely unrelated. I fucking hate Fang. That is all.
But now A tier.
There's gonna be a lot of A tiers. I can tell you that.
I
Am I
think
the only person here that has beaten Hamad and D-Answer in tournament?
I've never played Hamad in tournament. I've I haven't eliminated the answer, but I've beaten him.
Juices as well has beaten Hamad. He did beat him.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Juices.
I
Yeah,
was just wondering.
Juices has beaten. I think Juices has beaten. What's his name too?
Uh,
Uh, the answer as well.
Okay,
I
well,
believe.
let's go on to A tier. Let's go.
A tier. In my eyes, I'm looking at about 5 or 6 A tiers. You say, from what I can kind of see. So,
All right, just start putting them up there. Let's see what you got.
okay, so. Well, this one is kind of going to be a wild card. I mean, not many of you guys have actually played this person, but I played this person, and Diaz played this person, and I'm going to go up with Nagasiren being A tier. I think he could, if he were to come out, I think he would do pretty well. I mean, I think there would be a adjustment that he would have to make as far as like offline scene, but I do think he's really strong as a player and could be a great addition to the scene. I mean, if he's watching the podcast, you should come out whenever it's safe and and play. So I'm going to put him in that A tier category.
So is he going to be? So is the as far as the listing, is he like the first A tier?
No, he's not the
or
first.
Does that matter?
Tiers aren't ordered.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not ordered. I said.
Okay.
I mean, if you, I did offer to order them, but you guys were like, I'll just put them in there, so it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say anything about that. I don't know him. You know what I'm saying? I haven't played him, but
I don't
if he's
even
a
know who
solid,
that guy is.
yeah, if he's a solid Chun, then I mean I can't argue with that. She's a solid. Well, she's a pain in the ass, but she's a solid character. And if we play solidly with her, then I don't see any problem with it. I just don't know that person enough to be able to debate what you're saying as far as that goes. So I mean, by default, I guess I'm not against it. You know?
Because I had the chance to, I played him in rank. Juice is awesome. I played him in rank, but I also had the chance to play him offline, and I can kind of see like where he was as a player. Because I played him last year at Texas Showdown, and I kind of saw where he was as an offline player, and it definitely seemed like he definitely needed some sort of adjustment to offline. He just wasn't kind of at that time. He wasn't. It didn't seem like he was ready to play offline players.
Gotcha. Anybody else?
No, I can't say anything about him because I've never met him. So
we have Will. Will, you still in here? You know about Nagasara. Why don't you tell these? Why don't you tell these boys about him?
He's pretty good. He's a really good chunk player. I've been following him for quite some time, like since like season 2.
Yeah.
And he's very, very talented. But like Herman was saying, he just needed to adjust to offline because he was looking a little rough at Showdown last year.
Yeah, like I played him in a set offline. We'll just say it wasn't good for him. It definitely wasn't good for him.
Yeah.
But like, he's
Gotcha.
just
Yeah.
But like
It takes a small adjustment for online to offline. Yeah.
Small adjustment, but like he's definitely up there. He's ultimate grandmaster. So like I'm like, as far as rating him as a player, I definitely think that he could be up there in the A tier.
Gotcha.
Now the other A tier, I guess I can put. Nah, Danny Boy's trash tier, dog. What y'all think? Y'all think Danny Boy belongs in the trash can, dog? after all that,
that's where Birdie belongs, right?
After all the mess this man's been talking, 5-0 Danny Boy gets mopped up real quick. He's over here trying to start gang wars with Dallas. Nah, he belongs in the trash can.
He didn't start that war, to be fair.
Who's the Dallas Destroyer, though?
TBC.
Wait, yeah. Who is the Dallas Destroyer? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, but all my Dallas wins were offline. Doc, I beat Doc offline. I beat Marvin offline.
Oh,
I beat
man.
Ollie Wally offline. I mean, I
Yeah.
6-0'd a Dallas player offline.
Oh man,
So I mean,
God,
if we're talking about Dallas
I remember
T-Boy,
that too. That
you
was
know,
that was a pretty good. That was a funny day because
That was funny.
I think the person you were worried about was me in the bracket, and you beat me, and then you
yeah.
popped off, and I was surprised. I was like, "What?" You popped off?
Well, nobody knows that story. I only popped off on you because we played like 3 days before the tournament, and you like 25-2 me or some shit like that.
Man,
But
yeah,
anyways, let's get back to
you
the
were
tier
good.
list.
Yeah, you definitely
But yeah, joking aside, Danny belongs
A
to the A
tier.
tier.
Yeah,
I'll give him the A
I
tier. Like,
so my thing about that is very solid player, very heavy with punish base, definitely good. He handles matchups. He takes it slow. The only thing I could say against that is I think you would do well for some maybe aggression in your gameplay. Whenever I play you, I know what I'm gonna get. We're gonna get a slow, long-lasting game because it's gonna be a lot of with punishing, a lot of waiting and stuff like that. If you mix some aggression into your game and some pressing, I definitely think you could take your game to another level as far as that goes. I know you're in your comfort zone when you're playing slowly with punishing buttons and stuff like that, but against some opponents, I don't think that's going to
Yeah,
be
that's what I do when I
a
play
working
D.
strategy for yeah.
yeah.
So
I
that's
go in like, cause you remember that HBR I 3-0 D answered before we went into grand finals, and then he
yeah,
beat me like 6-4 or something like that to win
yeah.
it.
So other than that, I don't think there's nothing wrong with you being A tier. I think that's a solid placing for you, and I definitely think that's a winning placement for you. So I'm not against it.
Yeah. Anyone else has anything to add on to that?
I mean, it makes sense. I've seen him win a lot more sets than I've seen him lose. I mean, I've seen him lose too, but he's consistent. He's consistent, man.
Yeah, consistently consistent. Offline.
Consistently consistent.
Yeah, that's one thing I like to do is play better offline. I've beaten Dual Kevin offline at Combo Breaker. I beat I beat Doc. I beat uh Nightmare offline. I beaten D Answer offline. I made MOV pop off on me at Evo. Will was there because it was last game, last round down to the wire, and he actually made a comeback on me and beat me, and he popped off. I've never seen him actually pop off.
I
So
mean, this is definitely the time to suck your own nuts. This is it right here. This is where you do it. No, I'm saying there's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. I'm just saying
Yeah.
like when we're talking about you right now, this is the time for that. So
This is
yeah,
the time
get
to
it all out. Yeah.
to
and
bask in
and
the glory.
I made a Spada almost jump out of a window.
Oh,
Oh,
boy, no.
yeah.
No, hold
Yeah,
on, hold
let's not
on.
do that.
I
Yeah,
wish
let's
it would
not
have
do
been
that.
offline, but oh well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
It's
Let's
fine.
not
we,
do
we,
that.
we're not gonna
Me
talk
and
about that.
him actually get along pretty good now, so it's all good.
And so, oh man.
God.
Next,
All right.
that was okay.
Where your segues at now?
Next
Yeah,
player.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, come on, segue it.
A tier. This is a guy that I think really highly of, and I think he's up there as far as like players, and he's definitely a player that I always look forward to playing in tournament sets, and I always just look in general to play. Not only is he like a good player, he's also a good person to be around overall. So like the way he like treats things and how he goes about things when we're playing, it makes it more enjoyable to play him. So this is why I will always sing this man's praise. That is Mr. Chacon. Even I remember the first time I played this guy. He beat me at Red Bull. I was like, man, this is my chance. This is my time. And this was that time that year. That time I kind of went to tournaments, and the only characters I lost to were characters that I was like, that I was kind of unfamiliar. And then I would like to add on to this. This man Juices was like, hey man, you should learn these. You should learn those unorthodox characters. Blah blah blah. You gotta run into. I'm like, bro, when am I gonna run into those characters? Like, think
Oh
about it.
man,
I was playing the numbers game. I was like, the chances of me running into those characters are pretty slim.
bruh.
But nope, right into Falk. That stops me from placing top. That stops me from placing top 8 at Red Bull. I was like, dang, that's the second time I got top. That's the second time I got ninth place at Red Bull, and then the at KIT in Texas running the Blanca. I was like, dang, I really need to start learning these other characters, man, because I was trying to push them off. And
That's right.
and
you were
and,
playing these weird ass characters for
yeah,
a little while.
yeah, I was starting to play a
Okay.
lot of these characters because again, like no one was playing them, and I was like, hey man, like I can't go. Like if I'm trying to travel, I can't be going and traveling and and
Not
losing.
having any idea.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
shoot this bot right here. Shoot
Yeah,
him.
yeah. Somebody bot status real quick. Get rid of the bots.
I'm trying to be famous.
But yeah, I think overall as a player, he's like really solid. His whip punish,
Yeah.
his whip punish game is up there. His neutral is really good. He's always on point with his anti-air. I mean, it is Falk though, but he. I mean, he.
You trying to
I
take
can't wait
something
till I
away
hear
from
what
him now?
Austin.
No,
has to
no, no, no.
say.
I'm not taking anything away from him. And the fact that he's playing Falk and that he
Man.
does as well as he does. I mean, this is a guy that gives like D. I think out of everybody on this, the people in the A tier, this man gives D the most.
Oh
trouble.
yeah,
Which
definitely.
blows my mind
right, yeah,
because Falk versus Fong sucks. That is not a fun matchup to play for Falk whatsoever.
Yeah, I see this.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I see this man.
That's horrible.
Dude, it's awful.
Yeah.
And he still gives D a run for his money.
Yeah. I think he out of everybody, I think he probably has the most winnings besides Hamad. I think he has the most winnings record against D.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's right. So
I watched them one day. This was before. This was this SFL that D qualified for, but like they were playing a set, and like they were playing. D got like.
The answer was horrified when Mr.
Yeah.
yeah.
He got 5-0, and I was like, dang. I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, I'm glad that ain't me. I'm glad I already qualified. Now I'm sitting in the background. I'm like, dang, he got messed up.
Man.
But yeah,
I remember that I had to fight Mr. Chacon, Honda versus Falk, and it was down to the wire. I think
Yeah.
he beat me by a standing light punch or something like that. But he's definitely a great dude. Great dude. He's very social, like when you're playing with him, and
Yeah.
if you're on the same tier level as he is, you know what I'm saying?
Owning
Not saying that
property
he
in
won't
Texas
play
means
with
big
like,
chores that need equipment you won't
junior
find at a
players,
hardware
but
store.
when you're
Brookside
on
Equipment
the
Sales
same
is
tier
your
as him, he's
property
definitely
improvement
having
store.
a better
With all
time
the John Deere equipment
and
to take
he's
on your biggest
socializing and stuff
chores.
like that. Oh Lord, here we
And
go.
now
You
you'll
should
save
never even
thousands
scroll
on every
down,
new
dog.
John
What are you
Deere
doing?
tractor.
I'm
What are
trying
you
to
doing?
find. I'm trying to figure out where this coming from. I know it's on
What's
this
up?
page, but like
What's
that,
that?
that like a John Deere advertisement. I'm trying to figure out where
Oh,
the
okay.
ads are coming. It's on Tier List
Bruh.
Maker. The ads are playing.
Gotcha.
And you
But
don't have
yeah.
an ad block?
No, I don't have ad blocker.
He was taking the risk. But but yeah, man. Nah, he's definitely a solid player, good for the community. I definitely every time I play him, I always learn something from him when I'm playing, and we always have a good time. So I'm not against that. I think he's definitely an A tier, S tier player. So
All right.
Yeah, I respect him a lot. Like talking to him and playing with him, he's a very much a character loyalist. Everything he does in
Yeah.
the game or out of the game always relates back to Folk. I remember I let him use my hitbox one day after the SFL. I let him try out my hitbox, and he's just pressing the buttons, and the first thing he says is, "Hey, I think I could do this micro walk combo a lot easier on Folk." I said, "Man, what are you doing?" The first thing he said, and how Tootie was saying, sometimes he feels like he gets overconfident. I think Mr. C has like the opposite problem. Like he's very humble, and sometimes he doesn't like pop off. I think sometimes he doesn't know how good he is. Like when I talk to him,
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
believe that.
I played him. I was like, and I think I like to give a really fair assessment of players. But I played him, and even though I was beating him in more sets, I was like, in games, I was thinking in my head, I was like, I don't think this guy is like that much worse than me. I think we're at the same level at the time. This was like here like about a yeah about 6 or 7 months ago when we were playing offline. We played like a we played the first 10 or whatever after we played in that SFL event, the one that I won. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, yeah, I don't think he'll probably be on the team because I was like, he's not. I don't think he's that much like worse off than me. And I was really thinking, I was like, man, this guy like, even though I'm beating him, I'm like, yeah, I think we're like evenish as far as skills. I mean, it could be the thing. I think it was at the thing where it was like I could tell, based on the matchup and how it was going, because like I feel like, how I view matchups is like if I want to play someone in a matchup, and if I feel like if I'm on the same level of that person, then like I shouldn't be. So if say the matchup is like 5-5, like I feel like the game should be close to even. Like when we finish the set, the game should be close to even, or I should slightly win or he should slightly win. I don't go into a casual thinking that, oh, I should beat this guy all the time. That's not the point. I want to try to get that. I want to try to get the matchup to where I feel it's like 5-5 or like 6-4 if I think the matchup 6-4. And it just so happened I thought that matchup versus Falk was 6-4. I mean, he beat me in the first time I played it, when we first played it, but then I went home, studied it, learned it a little bit more. And then as we continued to play the matchup and we sort of evolved, and I was like, yeah, this is about right. And I had about a couple more wins than him. I had like maybe like 7-8 more wins, and then I looked at it, I was like, yeah, this is about a 6-4 matchup. So in theory, if we're on the same level, I should be beating him 6-4. So yeah, that's kind of how I see it. So yeah, I definitely think he's up there.
And Falk is so cool. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, she got some buffs.
She is now, man. Shoot, I remember on launch I tried to play that character, bro.
Y'all remember me talking all sorts of crap when I picked her up too.
Oh man.
I genuinely do love that character, and seeing somebody that's able to stick with a character that has so many glaring flaws. It's fantastic. It's really great seeing somebody who just genuinely loves a character. This is Mr. C. This is, Danny Boy, right? Seeing character loyalists is always one of my favorite things in watching this game. Although I was a little bit upset though, because I was, starting the process of really starting to come back to tournaments, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna show up with a character nobody's ever seen before. So I start training with Falk, and then y'all go to a tournament and get home. Steve goes, damn, there was this really good Falk player that blew everybody up. I was like, bro, he's stealing my strats.
He's stealing my thing. That's my thing. I'm the Falk player.
Yeah, I was like, man, I was gonna be the Falk player, and then I see some footage of this guy playing. I was like, dang, this guy's a real deal. This guy's amazing. I love this dude. Like, I love watching him.
Player.
Yeah, I was like, man, that's fine, dude. He had Falk all day. But seeing somebody who just really enjoys playing a character and overcomes bad matchups and doesn't complain about it. Well, I complained every day when I played her, but I still liked playing her. But
yeah.
He knows the hand that he drew, and he's still willing to play it.
Shadaloo, baby.
That's that's the biggest thing I respect, man. That man does not complain at all. I've never heard this man complain about anything.
Not about a single thing.
Yeah, I've never heard him complain about anything.
No, we're not gonna tarnish it. Let's go.
Yeah, okay, we're not gonna tarnish it.
Yeah, we're not gonna tarnish it. Let's go. So.
Okay, other 8-tier player. I have myself. Of course, I was gonna put myself up there. Why not? I mean,
let's go back and watch footage from last night when he couldn't anti-air Urian.
Man, y'all stay clowning me, dog.
Bro, that ear arena was in the air so long he got frequent flyer miles.
Oh man.
This man was talking about this. Not only was his Urian knee dropping, this Urian was dashing forward and he was doing random tackles and neutral.
So he was urinating you.
Yeah, he was Urian
Yeah.
me. I was like,
I mean,
man.
look, to be fair,
And it was laggy too.
Juices told him, "I bet you can't confirm axe kick into super." So that's literally the only thing Tootie was trying to do. So credit where credit is due.
Oh man. Oh Jesus.
But yeah.
All right. Well,
I think
this is what I'm gonna.
just for
Go ahead.
what? Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Nah, you go first.
All right. This is what I'm gonna say about Tootie. On some real, like, whenever I play him, I'm genuinely concerned about how the match is gonna go. It's like I never feel like when I play him, like, oh, I'm gonna confidently beat him. I think there's a number of factors whenever we play that determine the outcome of our matches. I think he's that good with it. Like it makes me nervous when I play. I'm like, okay. Like, and I'm just being honest. And when I say that, I mean not nervous as a player, but nervous about the mistakes that I can make or the mistakes that I'm going to see you make. There's certain things that I'll look for, and sometimes you'll do them, sometimes you don't. So there's mix up there, and I definitely enjoy our games. You're at a high skill level that raises my ceiling as we play. Also, a very solid player, very knowledgeable. You know everything, everything about your character, definitely, and then maybe about the top tiers as far as that goes. And you're willing to put in the study time to handle matches that are going to be awkward, which that's definitely a very, very important thing. As far as that goes, man, I think you're definitely a grade A, grade S player, and I think you definitely earn top spot in A zone. So I'm definitely not against that, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, man. Like every time like I said, I play, like, you hit that nail on the hammer. Like whenever we play, hey man, I feel like, it's like, it's always like a good match because it feels like whenever we play casuals, it's always like a good match because it gets me to like kind of think about things and try to like sort of improve, and so that's why I kind of like playing. I kind of like playing you the most when I can't play.
I feel like
because like just the way you play, it helps me get better as a player. And so whenever I play you, I'm like, okay, I can do this, and so like it definitely it helps me level up whenever
I'm frying you in the chat, dog. I don't know.
No. but yeah, I definitely think, again, I'm the greatest. Sometimes I can have those moments where I get too overconfident. But hey, man, like I look at it like this, man. That's just how I was taught, man. That's just the personality of my teacher that I've taken on. But I'm more self-aware. We'll just say that of like of why I'm losing, and I'm not gonna just blame it on the person or whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually go back and like try to study and figure out why I was.
I respect that. Yeah.
I mean, I can piggyback off that by saying, Tootie isn't infallible, right?
Yeah.
He's not unbeatable.
Yeah.
But anytime you see this man lose to something, he's in the lab. Yeah. Immediately after, when he loses to something, when he realizes that there's a gap in his knowledge, or there was something he didn't know how to handle, he is immediately working on a strategy for how he can beat that. He doesn't just sit on it and say, "Oh, they played like a scrub. They played stupid. I don't need to work on that because you're not going to see that at high level play. It doesn't matter." When somebody's busting him with something, like when pretty recently, like Vegas Ford Fierce, right? Long range button. And this Vega's getting away with it. And it's like, no, wait a minute. I can do something against that. So immediately he goes straight on stream. He goes straight into the lab. And he goes, how do I beat this? what's the best punish for this move? What can I use at different ranges? And I think that's a pretty common trait with a lot of top players is that you can immediately recognize your weakness and do what you need to rectify it.
Okay, yeah. Juice is
That's
what
not
the
the,
comment.
well, no, that's not
I
the
did.
full story.
It's not the full story. I did have help from Juice.
Juices did.
He
come in with the assist.
He did come in
right?
with the assist.
But
He's always got to. This man always got to come and interject.
Nah, he's making sure the facts are right. Like, I ain't mad at you. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Yeah.
credit where credit is due. Though I was leaving that part out because he could have been like, "I'm on stream. I'll deal with it later." How many Vegas do I run into online? It's not a common matchup right now. I'll deal with it later. Right now, I'm streaming. I just want to play some matches. No, he went straight into the lab and was like, "Okay, what do I do?" And he worked on it. He didn't put it off till later. He fixed it immediately,
There you go.
even though it took Juices roasting him to do it. But I digress.
Oh man, Danny boy.
Yeah, just piggybacking off of what Steve said. I've never played against 2D where he's not prepared. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's always prepared. He's like a scientist of the game. I'm more of an adjustment guy. He's in there. I'm ready to go 100%. He knows exactly what he's gonna do. So that's everything else y'all have said. He can play like 10
Fucking Juices, bro.
He's always ready for any situation, and whenever it doesn't work in his favor, he's gonna go learn it. That's pretty much what Austin said. So that's the way I see it.
It's the reality of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's what it is. You can't,
Yeah, like Banjo told me once. 2D said, "Yo, I'm gonna be the best Street Fighter player in Houston," and he puts in the work to be that.
Yeah, and the fun.
Some people don't do. Like, some people have the talent to be the best player. They just ain't gonna do the work. They're just gonna play the game, and if it goes their way, good. If it doesn't, oh fucking well,
Yeah. So the funny story about Banjo is like he was there before like I sort of kind of came up because we would go to Lone Star, the community college, and we'd be there and we'd play casuals. And he was one of the guys that I met through there, and we played casuals together. This was before he was a commentator, and this was before I was like a prominent player. We had our little group, and we would all just play fighting games every Tuesday, Thursday. We'll be there, bring our setups, play to about like 11, then we'll go out to like eat. Sometimes we'll go out to like Buffalo Wild Wings, and so yeah, that's basically sort of like the history behind that. And we talk about things. I was like, yeah, I think I want to be the best.
Casually came out. I think I want to be the best.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh man, Drew, Will.
Yeah, I think it was the second time I met 2D at like a contender. I think it was again, and I think this was the first time we talked because the first time we met we didn't talk at all.
Yeah.
The second time, I realized
he
he's
does
a
that.
student of the game. Right? Yeah, he does that. He showed me. I asked him a question about a matchup. He said, "I got you," and he showed me a 26-page Google document of every character in every matchup.
Oh God, don't bring that up, man.
I said, bro,
Not the damn notes.
He
That
bro.
he knows.
He knows.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
truly a student of the game.
So, shit. Yeah.
Now, let's see. Now, A tier. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. This person, I didn't think was A tier until recently, but that's just due to due to other factors. that like they just weren't in his favor, but I think now he has sort of kind of stepped into this range. Um, that person is drum roll, please. Da, 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 Steve or
Are you
Russo.
serious?
Yeah.
Oh man, bruh. Okay.
The reason why is because like the characters you were playing, I think
That's fair. That's fair. No,
like
Say no more.
like
Yeah,
the
that's
characters that
fair.
you were playing didn't allow you to. I didn't think what didn't allow you to sort of get to the level because you would like you get bro like before. Okay, you remember that story I told you about like when you there was that time and period you were beating me and I was playing secondaries and then I played a Mookie and then I pulled you aside. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to play.
I
this
got mad
character.
respect for you.
Yeah.
I got mad respect for you that day. I was like, okay. I'm all right with that.
Because and the
Alright,
only reason I was
yeah.
playing secondary because I was like, man, I'm gonna beat this guy with my secondaries. I was so convinced that I was like, because I was like, I was trying. I was like, I was stubborn. I was like, I want to beat this guy with my secondary. I'm not gonna, because I know I could beat him with a Mookie. I don't. I want to beat him with the secondary. Yup. You're the only person on this. You're really the only person that I have never beaten with a secondary. Like straight up. Besides Hamad and thing. Everyone
Yeah,
else,
no, I got
I
you.
have beaten them with a secondary. And that's crazy to me. In a tournament setting too. You're the only person that I can't beat with the secondary. And it's like it's like that challenge that I want to give myself to so I can finally it's like a goal that I had to beat you with the secondary.
It's because I play all secondary characters. That's
Yeah.
Oh,
And so yeah,
man.
like now with the cast of characters you play now, I think it allows you to get better results because like previous before these characters, I didn't think you weren't doing too well in that, and that's why I was saying that like there was factors that were prohibiting you from you being
No,
yeah.
I totally get that. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I was playing Ed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Cody, and I think Cody's solid, but he's not. He's not like, you know what I'm saying, one of the better characters, if you will. He's
Yeah.
like an average run of the mill kind of character. I was playing Kage. You know what I'm saying? And I was playing a lot more characters that I liked, and opposed to ones that were good because I had a pocket Colleen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was good with her. I just kind of let it get rusty, and I brought it back up. And I remember the only reason I started playing her again is because you asked. You were
Yeah, I
like,
was like, yeah,
"Hey
yeah.
man,
I think you should play
I need-
Colleen and V Trigger
You-
and V Trigger too.
V-Trigger 2.
So I don't
That's
get
what it
scrubbed
was.
out like
Yeah,
because I was like,
that's
man,
what it
I don't
was.
want to go to a tournament and get scrubbed out by like Neon or something. So somebody better play Colleen V Trigger too.
And I was like, okay, fine. And that's kind of what I've always tried to make my role in the FGC as, is kind of like the guy who will play the obscure kind of characters, if you will.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I really found my footing with Honda because he's the most basic character that I have, but he does everything that I need him to do, and he does it well.
Yeah, that's when I
And,
think like that's definitely when I think you sort of kind of push into that like the A zone because when you found Honda, you found someone that can like kind of fit what you like to do, and it
So-
definitely shows. And like
And to be honest with you, I don't like playing like that.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I just if keeping it 100, I don't like playing like that. But it took me back to my Street Fighter 2 roots. You know what I'm saying? A handful of special moves and buttons. He has good buttons, and he has the ability to control a lot of space. And you know, I play about 7 different characters. And what I learned with those characters is how to control the amount of space that I need to control. But with Honda, it's completely different. He really, really controls that space. I really, really started looking at Honda differently when I lost to the Karen player,
Uh,
fuck,
Magneto.
Magneto.
Yeah.
Magneto.
Shout out.
And I lost. Yeah, I lost to him with Cody, and I wanted to do it with Cody because that's who I was really heavily playing at the time. And I switched to Honda, and if I would have played Honda from the start, I would have beaten him. But I remember playing it with Cody, and he beat me, and I was
Yeah.
just, I was kind of like, and then Juices pulled me to the side. He was like, "Hey, let's go over some things," and we went over some things, and he gave me a different perspective on playing, and I played like that for a little while, and I kind of incorporate and suck up everything I can. But to be honest with you, the whole main idea for me is just to help you guys, the ones that want to be better, as far as that goes. But make no mistake, I compete with you guys with lower tier characters, and you guys use the better characters, and I'm still up there fighting you. You know what I'm saying? And making you think about it. So
What better
I won't.
character? I say bottom 5.
So, so but if I'm keeping it 100, I mean, you have to always think about it. I'm playing Ed in like, season 3 and whatnot, and
Yeah.
I'm competing with you. I'm using Cody. I'm competing, and I'm fighting Akumas with Kage, and you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, and season 4 and stuff like that. So I feel like okay, placed in A, I think that's all right.
Yeah.
I think you'll find yourself hurt pretty bad by me if you underestimate the characters that I play and how I
Yeah.
use them and how I play. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, we saw that at whatchamacallit this weekend. I mean, not this weekend, a month ago at Lights Out.
oh
Came
man,
with it came with the work, man. I was like, dang,
So-
hold on, man.
so man, damn.
Dropping out, some of Dallas's best players, dog.
So
me,
but yeah,
Let me jump in here real quick. You're going to get a little bit of a disagreement from me,
Disagreement. Okay.
but
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
I still think he belongs in A.
Okay.
Okay, I think his
Okay.
play is fine.
Okay.
My main disagreement isn't what characters he plays, but how many characters he plays.
Okay.
I think he can play at a high level with any of these characters just fine. My biggest thing is I think he plays so many characters so often, I don't see him learn a lot of intricacies in individual matchups,
Okay.
but he's able to use the strategies that he goes into the match with. He has a huge array of characters that he likes to play, and a lot of that's because he just prefers certain characters for certain matchups. But I think if Steve really stuck with either of these characters, he would still whoop people's ass. I don't think the strength of characters holds him back. I just think it's like jack of all trades, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I can agree with that. They'll.
Except for Gil. Gil sucks.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Damn, that hurt.
Okay, yeah,
man.
that's
Wasn't expecting that.
okay.
He's
Yeah.
so fucking cool though, man. Come on.
Nah, bro, Gil is a character you need to devote your life to. You got to start
Yeah.
going to church. You got to start praying to Gil. You got to start praying for retribution on your enemies. You got to understand
man.
everything about that character for almost no payoff.
Damn. Yeah.
Besides that, like, if you had like 2 characters and you said, screw the rest, I'm going to focus on these characters. I'm going to learn absolutely everything. I'm going to learn how to play every matchup. If you had like a main and a pivot, you'd probably be S tier. Well, that and the fact that personal life, you're not able to play as often.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
does.
Just had a second kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like Kenzo said, jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, that's another factor I was saying too. Like I wanted to hit on too is like the personal life as well. But I mean,
Yeah.
I that's why I think kind of
If he
stop
stuck
shit.
to a couple of characters and had the ability to play all the time, he'd be godlike. He'd be S plus. The dude plays with instincts better than almost anybody else I've ever seen. He's able to play a lot of the time just with the feel of the match. and the pacing of how a round is going. He's not weighed down. And I'm not saying it's not because you don't know, but it's because you're not constantly trying to do all this frame math in your head. You're like, nah, screw that. You play with instincts, you play with
Let's just play, dog.
experience.
Yeah, that's how we.
The
That's
SF4
how I
experience.
started. Yeah, no, the Street Fighter 2 experience. That's what that is.
Yeah.
So, because that's pretty much you played by feel, and
Yeah,
I try to carry that over. But, it's funny you said that, Austin. Man, you know who told me that? The answer said the same thing. He was like, "Dude, you would be so good if you just had one character." And I would always tell him, I was like, and I still stick to this. There's not a character in this game that I like, you know what I'm saying? Like in Street Fighter 4, I had Abel. I loved that character. I was character loyalist to that character. In this game, there's not really one. I thought it was Ed, but nah. And you know what I'm saying?
Neo Shadowloo.
Yeah, and then I really like Cody, and I think he's solid, but he's lacking in a lot of stuff that you need, because sometimes you just need a DP. And you don't need a DP to DP. You need the DP for your opponent to be afraid of you DPing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's what it is.
It's like he has one, but it's so slow. It's optional.
It's
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I mean, it's good in other ways too. It's an amazing tool if you're playing against a character that likes to abuse dive kicks or
Yeah.
side switches like that. But I mean, and I think you play Cody really well, and I think Cody fits your play style more than most other characters you play.
I believe that. I believe
Really,
that.
honestly, I think Cody. Like if I had to pin you on any one character, I would ever want to see you just focus on and really take to the next level, I think Cody would give you a lot, because you play this really good mix of defense and offense, and Cody's tools are like they're just perfectly suited for you. Like EX Zonk, that shit's hella cheap.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
With the way that you play, I mean,
I remember
it's such an amazing tool.
We played recently, and I was just playing neutral. I hit crouch and jab. This man EX Zonk, crouch and jab beats EX Zonk. I was like, wait, what? That weird? I was like,
it's when you catch it.
Yeah.
Well, I find myself, if I play Cody against like any of the Dallas guys, they just start bunny hopping when I have meter.
Yeah.
So I end up walking him down and doing like my anti-air kick or something like that, And Zonk is it's definitely was a good go-to move, but it's not the way to go anymore. That character, like I said, I like the character, but I think for matchups like against, I think you're right. It's matchup specific. I'll use Cody against Shotos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like the top tier Bisons and stuff like that, it's Honda all the way. I mean, they know. You know what I'm saying? So,
we know who knows. We ain't gonna name anybody in the chat.
But they know. So
we know they know.
I'll name them.
Oh man. So, but I mean, hey man, I appreciate it. Anybody else got anything?
Yeah. I'll say something and then I gotta go after this.
Okay.
But I think Steve is like he's very good at making the most of the time that he gets to play. I feel like at Lights Out, I remember seeing you in the corner playing on a setup for at least like the entire time I played, like 3 or 4 hours. He definitely knows how to train the game. But yeah, I respect them a lot too for playing all those characters too. I can only play one character to a decent degree, and then I try another one and I give up.
Oh man, I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Yeah. So
I'm interested to hear from Danny Boy. He's the one between Herman and Danny Boy. You guys are the ones that I'm interested the most in hearing from.
we play.
Yeah, well, I play you guys the most.
Yeah, you play us.
Yeah.
Well, I absolutely hate playing Steve. It is a horrible experience. One of the worst experiences of my life. Because he knows how to play.
Later, buddy.
He knows exactly what he's gonna do. and it counters everything that I like to do. And it took him a while to get to that point too, because there was a time where he was never beating me.
That was just you either. He wasn't never like there was a time like
I wasn't beating. Yeah,
he wasn't beating me like we go to
yeah.
tournament.
Never.
Like,
I couldn't beat his Ibuki. I wasn't beating your birdie. That wasn't.
Yeah.
A thing. Not especially not with Ed, and I think that's
Yeah.
who I was using the most at the time. That was just
I think you were playing like Ed.
Mm-hmm.
But he's good at what he has to do. If he knows he has to play defensive, he's really good at that. If he has to play offensive, he's really good at that. And I was rooting so hard. I love D, but I was rooting so hard.
Man, I was too. Like I like I said, I love him
I thought
too.
I had him. I thought I had him, bro.
But like
really
I was
did.
like, yo, let's go. Steve. We were in the chat. I was like, yo, let's go. When you were up too, I was like, oh, I'm like, this man about to win. This man about to. Well, I was about to pop. And
yeah,
that was
I thought I had him too.
I guess it's just the way we fight each other. Because when I fight,
Yeah.
because me and Steve are at A tier, but when I fight Steve, I'm like, oh my god, I have to fucking fight Steve. But when I play D, I'm like, okay, this is a lot easier than fighting Steve. But I don't know. It's just all different matchups. And Steve is my ultimate rival. Sorry,
Steve is impossible to condition in this damn game.
He
goes.
Steve where he'll neutral jump my command grab, and I'll text him like, "You motherfucker! Why would you neutral jump me?"
Because you dolphin dived me like 12 times already. Come on, bro. Come on.
No, I'm talking about command grab.
That is a command grab. Fuck with your
Well, I purposely do not end rounds against Steve with dolphin dive because I know he's ready for it. That's the only person that I will not do it. If it's the end of the round, I'm like, I'm not going to dolphin dive. He knows.
I'll stand in certain spots too, man. I'm like, fuck that.
Like, there's no way I'm going to dolphin dive because I know he's ready for it.
So,
who we got next?
Yeah, who's up?
Now
we got.
They thinking.
What about Juices?
Okay.
Uh-oh. You know he in the chat. So
Yeah, I know he's in the chat.
You know he in the chat.
But he knows exactly where I'm gonna go with this.
I would put Juices in B+ tier.
Yeah, I would put okay. So here's the thing about
he putting Juices in B tier just because Juices stay roasting him so much.
no, like
this is the revenge pick.
This man. Like check this out. This man can beat anybody on this list up here, but then this man will lose to players that are low to, and so like. This guy, that's exactly where I was going with that. So I'm like, dang. So, like, I was thinking, dude, like, for him to be an A tier, like, yeah, I think he could beat. I think he could beat everybody in here. But like, dang, like the chances of us losing to the guys below are pretty slim. But the chances of losing to guys low, it's like, dang, it's like this man will come in here. Beat like Hamad and then lose like to like then lose to like AJ or something. I'm like, bro, what the heck is wrong with this guy?
All right, so here's my thing. I think Juices is an A tier, and this is why. Legit.
Okay.
This is legit why. I think with his thought process and the way that he plays, S tier player. The characters that he uses, he uses Cammy and Seth, I'll say. And I know he can use some other characters, but those are the ones that I've seen him use. He uses them competently. The only thing that I think holds him back, and I've noticed this when I play him, is he gets frustrated when things are not supposed to go a certain way. Like, I won't say flowchart because that's not what it is.
Yeah.
So, for instance, we played a long set one night. He was using Cammy, I was using Ed.
Yeah.
And we were going back and forth, and it got to the point where he would do a certain setup, and I didn't know it was a frame shot for 3 frames.
Yeah.
So I would press.
Yeah.
I would press like every time because it was working. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't know the math behind it, but I didn't realize it was a 3-frame trap. I hadn't seen it before, so I was naive to what was happening. But I was beating him, and then he was getting mad. And
Yeah.
I won't say mad, but he was getting irritated about it.
Yeah.
And it affected his gameplay, I think, a little bit more than he thought it did, because I would see him do things that he wouldn't normally do, kind of out of the, the ordinary.
Yeah.
And it would kind of, and then we would talk about it in the chat, and I could hear the irritation in his voice about certain things, and he's like, I don't like to play like that because blah 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 and this and that and this. I was like, I understand that, but you have to realize I was naive to the idea that this was supposed to beat this. That's why I pressed. Like, I would get standing light kick into hands, into V trigger, into CA, and then I would win the match, and he'd be like, shit, you know what I'm saying? But I think his knowledge, his overall knowledge and on positioning and how to do things, in my book, grants him like A tier status. But I think sometimes applying it in certain matches, or seeing how things are supposed to go, or knowing how things are supposed to go, and them not going that way, would hinders him. I don't think it's enough to put him B tier. I think he's an A tier or S tier player because of knowledge and execution. Well, I won't say execution because I've seen him fucking them shit up sometimes. But he'd be messing up dive kicks. I'd be like, oh,
He'd be messing up set
kick.
dive kicks.
Yeah, like, oh no. But I definitely think he's an A tier player. He has A tier in my book. But it's all about what the consensus is. But in my book, I think he's an A tier player. So
Yeah, like I said, I have no doubt that like he could beat the S and A player. That's not the problem. It's just like that small thing, small stuff like you were talking about. It's like, I don't know. I mean, and again, there's like not two versions of there's like not like two like split. It's not splitting like A plus A minus or stuff like that. But
no. We're not gonna change it for one person.
Yeah, we're not gonna change it for one person. But like I wouldn't be like, nah, it didn't blow. Nah, A is fine. A is fine with me. Like, I would put him there.
Well, no,
but
he's gonna start tweeting at you.
I just think
Careful.
all the A players, he has like the most exploitable weaknesses, I would say.
I
Okay.
think it's B.
why?
The only reason I would say B is because like he can beat any of the S tiers, any of the A tiers, but you can't. Not saying that you can't do it, but like Steve said, he has A execution and all this stuff. But when you look at tournaments, he went to lights out. He didn't sniff top 8. Texas Showdown, I think a couple times he went like 2-2, 3-2.
Hold on. I'm gonna need you to put some respect to my man's name.
We're all talking.
Hold on.
You know.
My man put what was it?
I
Combo
get
top.
what you're saying.
Where'd you place at Combo Breaker? What was it? Top 32, top 6. Go ahead and drop it in the chat, man. This was a premier event too at the time. It was like top 30. No, Juices.
No, he's talking to Juices.
Oh.
Was it top 64, top something at Combo Breaker? I can't remember.
Combo Breaker. I'm the only one that went to Combo Breaker.
And he made I know he made 2 top 32s in Showdown, so that's why I'm.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's just what I say.
Top 128 in Evo.
Yeah, I mean, I made top 128 in Evo. I'm not trying to throw shade.
No. It was
But
funny how you said it though.
that was a season 2 Balrog, so let me get off that pedestal real
Season
So
two
like
Balrog.
so
season-
I have to
yeah.
disagree with that point for you saying that he doesn't do it well at tournaments. Now, like my thing is the whole like the stuff that kind of the stuff that Steve was on, like the weaknesses. I think out of like if like the A tier players, I think he's the most likely to lose to someone lower than us.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would see that.
And
I do
Because
gotta say though.
as a Cammy player, you can't mess up on your dive kicks, and if that happens,
you eat it hard.
And so that's
know what
why,
I mean?
yeah, that's where my whole thing was like, I don't know if I should put him in A or
I
No,
mean,
or
that,
B.
and I
Like,
mean
yeah,
that's
yeah,
he's up there
that's
with
why.
D when it comes to one of the smartest players
yeah.
in match, though.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah,
There's
but
no. Yeah.
Definitely.
but Rondo's one of the smartest players in the NBA, and he ain't winning an MVP anytime soon.
That's another topic for another
That's
day.
another topic.
That's not
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Okay, to settle this, everybody's gonna say where they think. Yeah, we're talking about
Yeah, we're talking
juices.
about juices.
Juice
Yeah.
Kinsel.
I mean, I'm saying A tier because I seen him beat all y'all's ass.
Yeah, A. Okay,
A
Okay.
plus.
A period. Okay,
A,
A plus.
okay, well,
A plus.
Okay, well,
A-
yeah.
A is the consensus, so A.
Okay, A
it
is the consistency. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll put him
I got
in
you
A.
in there, bud. We're
We'll
good.
put him in A.
I
No,
mean, I didn't see any way he wasn't an A. Like,
well,
the
I
dude-
didn't either.
in
I
match,
mean,
dude, the dude is he's a genius. I
Yeah,
mean,
Okay, I'll give him A minus. Okay.
A bias.
all right.
all right. So
Like,
yeah. All right.
I have no problem putting him in A. I was just just
right,
just the stuff that, like, kind of, it's like, I don't know, man, the
No,
stuff.
it's fine. Like you said, you weren't even gonna put me in A, bro. Come on now. So I get what you, I get what you're saying as far as that goes. I'm joking, but I get what you're saying. I can see why you would think that's a thing. So
Yeah, because it's like,
uh,
like, I was on the fence. I didn't know what it, like, whichever way other people were going, I'd be like, okay, well, that's what you guys want. But like,
but
for me,
so here's
it didn't matter.
so Shin. The thing is, like, he might have more knowledge, but I won't say that I have a lot of knowledge, but it's being able to apply what you have. Like I said, I'm definitely with him being an A tier, but if you have all of that knowledge, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not always the only thing that's gonna work for you, and I can attest to that. Like, I don't have all the knowledge. I know enough to be dangerous, and that's all you really need. You don't need to know every single thing. You know what I'm saying? And so having all that knowledge and being able to apply it is, it is what it is.
Yeah, but I mean that's even a factor when you're talking about the best of the best players, right? Because they play in a way that they're accustomed to. When they're playing against somebody who's not playing the same game that they are, they can lose.
Yeah.
Your opponent's going to make decisions that you're not expecting,
Okay.
and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean,
Well, yeah.
You don't always want to be hedging your bets against the worst possible decision your opponent can make at a time, right?
Okay.
A lot of it's risk versus reward. And when your opponent's taking these big risks that are working out, yeah, you're going to drop a set. But
Yeah.
it's all about consistency over the long term, right? And Juices has that.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's
yeah.
no doubt.
Okay.
And Shin, I agree with you, Shin. Like, yeah, I agree with you.
No,
bud.
no, okay.
So
All right, no, that settles it. Now, this is another guy that's, I would say, is sort of kind of controversial per se, but it's kind of hard to, and what I mean by that, and it's kind of like hard to pinpoint him exactly, mostly because there was a period he was coming out, but he's kind of stopped coming out. We're not gonna talk about that.
yeah, we already passed. 2D.
We already
You should have
passed
said
that.
that earlier. Yeah.
And there and we know the reason why for that, but like, I just don't know where to place this guy at. He's good, don't get me wrong, and he's up there, but I just don't know where exactly.
What's his name?
Yeah,
I'm
pretty-
saying, let's get it. Let's.
Just run. Where
Okay.
Just right.
Okay.
Because we have to put some respect on my man's name. He qualified for.
So Just Run, I've played him maybe twice.
Yeah.
I think he beat me both times we played. I definitely think he's good. I think at the time, let's see, the first time we played, I was using Ed, and he's Balrog naturally. The second time we played, I used. I know it wasn't Honda. I understand. I understand. I think I was using Cody the second time we played. When I played him, he's definitely a solid player, but there was flaws in his game that I could see being exploited very heavily.
Yeah.
Like he's playing very well, but he's still trying to do season 2 stuff with Balrog. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. I see. I definitely see
and
what you're talking about.
and he's like I said, he knows what's going on. He knows what he has to do, and he's very excited. He's excited about winning and stuff like that and playing. And I can definitely enjoy that. But I see him getting antsy. Like I could see him getting antsy when playing in sets
Oh
and
yeah.
almost being ready to win, and then like his antsiness will stop him from winning.
Yeah.
To get him killed,
He's
if you will.
definitely like an emotional
So
player, and
yeah.
like if you see like the SFL, you can see his emotions compared to my emotions,
Hmm.
and I kind of know that like, oh, if I play him, and I'm always gonna beat him because I'm more even killed when it comes to things in tournament settings, and I'm like
Yeah.
like I can handle like when things don't go my way. So like it like you could definitely like if you could, like the cameras, you could see his body language. Like he would do something, or I would hit something, and you would see me just be there like this, and then he'll be like, oh, I'm like, and that and like when I read his body language, I'm like, yeah, I know I'm gonna win.
Yeah. You're gonna
And
get
so
him. Yeah.
I'm gonna beat him.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one of the worst tells to have as a competitor.
Yeah.
I remember when he played Shine. I think Shine was using he might have been using choline or something like that. He wasn't using Ibuki, but
So
Yeah.
he beat him like, and then he popped off so hard. Like I thought he won Evo. I was like, oh
Yeah.
snap, he won Evo. But then he ran it back, and Shine beat him so bad, and he was dead silent, and you could see like the emotion drain from his face when he was playing, and I was like,
Yeah.
bruh, come on, man,
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with being emotional when you play, but when it affects your gameplay, that's
Yeah.
all somebody has to do, man. They can poke at your psyche when you're playing, and you can be defeated before you even start the match. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I'd place him B tier,
Okay.
just because he has a solid grasp of his character. I know he plays Balrog. I don't know who else he plays, um, but he plays kind of like one way ish,
Okay.
And I think if you break that, then that's it, you know.
Yeah.
And not saying there's definitely not room for improvement,
Yeah.
but I just think he can be broken earlier than he shows too much emotion when he plays,
Yeah.
and your opponent can read that, and if they can break that, they can initially break you and win the match before it even starts. You know what I'm saying? So, I solid B tier because he definitely knows what's going on, but his flaws kind of stick out. And you don't need that in that kind of setting. So that's
Yeah.
that's what I think. I think B tier.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd put him there as well. I mean, I haven't really played him this season.
Okay.
I mean, I only ran into him like around season 3, or back when he was like really strong.
Yeah.
But just looking at the way he was playing now, like what was it recently that he was playing at?
He's an
Was
MK
it
player. Yeah.
was it for Street Fighter League? Yeah,
Yeah. It was for Street Fighter
like
League.
that was
That's the
like
one
the
I won.
last time I seen
Yeah.
him play, and like he was doing really good. Like, and then like when he was playing you, I could tell he started getting tilted. And
Yeah.
then like after that, like you just completely destroyed him. Like he's definitely a player that puts his emotions like really, really out there. So, but hopefully, like if he comes back or if he's still playing, that he can definitely come back stronger and get back to where he was when he was in
Yeah,
season 2, back in his prime and stuff. Because I definitely think he still has more room to grow. And
yeah,
Yeah,
he can.
just to let y'all know, guys, you put him at B tier. If he beats any one of you A tier guys, he's gonna fucking run through a wall.
Okay, so story about that. Okay, so you got Daddy Boy remembers this, right? This was pre SFL. We went to not that we me Royale and some of the other cats went to Denny's after HBR. And this man Royale, he was like, all right, he's like, he said something. He's like, and he and I sort of basically sort of created a promo video where he was like, I think I said I was like, oh yeah, I'm like the best in Houston, right? Like jokingly, and he was like, yo, you'll be Danny Boy. I was like, yeah, I'll beat him free. And then and then he said, you beat Just Run. Yeah, I'll beat him free. And then he posted that in the chat. So fast forward to SFL. Like after I win the tournament, he comes up to me. He was like, man, I wanted to beat you because I saw the video. And I was like, oh really? And I was like, I told him, bro, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Yeah, you can't let the emotions get to you. That's the one thing. That's the one thing. Us A tier players and the S tier players, we don't express our emotions during the game.
But yeah, I was like, bro, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was like, I had forgot about that. I forgot about that video. But like he came up there and brought it to my attention.
Me neither.
And I was like,
I've heard everything D has to say about Laura.
yeah. We know everything. We know
Laura and Colleen. He don't like Colleen either, man.
But in the middle of the match.
Oh yeah, Juice for sure. Like it's okay to be a emotional player. Yeah, we know what he's talking about. 100%.
100%. He doesn't let it affect his gameplay.
Well, okay, that's what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, that I guess that's more where we could go. Yeah, we don't let it affect our gameplay.
Yeah.
We'll say it, but when he gets mad, it's like a snowball going downhill, and everything just that's it.
Yeah.
You know, because honestly, everybody thought Just Run was going to win that night for Street Fighter League. Even though 2D and Mr. Chacon was there, I 100% said Just Run is going to run through this whole bracket and he's going to win.
Wait, hold on. You said that?
Yeah, I honestly thought he was.
What, bro? Hold on. This man said that Just came in there. I was like, and this is documented because I vlogged it. I said I'm going to win.
I know you said that, but I'm just saying what I thought.
I came in there. I said I'm going to win, and I won.
Oh man.
Okay, so we all agree B tier. Let's put it on B tier. We can move on.
B tier.
Well, does anybody, Austin? Do you have anything to say, or?
I mean, you pretty much covered it. I haven't seen really much of him for a long time. Back, season 2.
And he doesn't come out enough.
Yeah, season 2 would be an easy A, right? That dude is incredible on top of his character.
Yeah,
I was a season 2 Balrog too, though. I was pretty godlike. I mean,
fucking Balrog.
Just saying.
I couldn't make it out to a local, but I traveled around with him.
You know what's funny was like, I was a season 2 of Wookiee when she was like the best character, like one of the best characters in the game, right next to Rashid. But like, I was worse off then than I would. Like I never took advantage of my characters fully.
Yeah.
Bro, man, if I knew what if I was playing like
then,
now, with season 2 of Wookiee, I think I would have been up there, man. Bro, you know how easy it is to like hit crouching strong EX kunai in the 50-50 that most people can't block? Mid screen, by the way. And then do it again? You want to see me do it again? And then mash V skill void out of block strings? Oh, bet. Knockdown?
I don't know. It was pretty tough with season 2 Colleen. I didn't need V trigger 2, but her jump kick, you couldn't anti-air it. That shit was broken. You couldn't anti-air jump kick.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, dude.
Yeah, you could.
Like, Mookie would have definitely carried. She definitely would have carried me to some like top 32s if I was traveling like that.
Who's next on the list?
Who's on there? Yeah.
You guys already know who it is. The next person, it's Mr. Mad Gear, and I already know where I'm going to place him in the B tier, and he knows
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all.
It's really
Yeah.
really for the same reasons.
Do we need to talk about this?
Yeah, no, we need to.
I mean,
because he gets some respect too. Because on
he
some
gets
real
Yeah.
respect.
shit, from where he
He
started
probably has the
from,
most growth out of all of us.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
definitely came
Yeah.
a long way.
from where he
For
started
sure.
from to where he's at now, he's definitely put in the work. Um, but his weakness is glaring. Just like it's not as or his weakness is worse than just Run's weakness.
Yeah.
Like you can tell just Run is tilted when you see his body language. You can tell in his play that he's tilted. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, it's bad, man. And I think his weakness is he's he can't do long sets very well, as far as that goes. And he learned frame data, and now he's stuck in the frame data. Like
Yeah.
he's stuck in the math train.
Yeah.
He can't get past the numbers. And I'm not going to go deep into that because I know Austin can cover that better. But um, you know, he has a character that lets him get away with certain things that he wouldn't necessarily be able to get away with if he played a character that was more, I'll say, normalized, if you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
It's evident patterns, with certain things, and I say they're evident with us because we know what we're looking for. They'll work on other people. It just
I mean,
won't
we
work
played
as-
him 3,000
Yeah.
times.
You know what I'm saying? It won't work as well on us, and it frustrates him. And I like I said, I think when he started to get a lot better, I told him, and I believe this. I was like, I think your skill level is there, but your experience level is gonna get you killed anytime you play. Um, I'll say one of the A tier, S tiers, or even other B tiers. It's gonna get you killed, especially if they know what we know as far as fighting you. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I think he's a good player, man. But I think that he falls into patterns easily because his character permits it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so,
I definitely agree with
yeah.
that.
I think that a lot with how he played today against Comeback Kid. He was playing real good, but I get so frustrated when he does low forward into Metro Run and tries to grab him. Like it works when he streams and he's playing ranked matches. It works against lower diamond level players, but it's gonna work against them.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think I've
It even
talked to him
works
about
against
that.
higher level players, just not
Yeah.
that many times.
Just not that many times. And the
Right.
thing I've always said about Street Fighter V is everybody hits hard. To me,
Yeah.
everybody in this game hits hard. So when he does that and he gets hit, he doesn't have not Joel has bad defense, but Abigail just has a hard time getting up. So when you're trying to get up, you don't have a 3 frame, you don't have anything really to help you. You're losing too much life just to have to guess, and if you guess wrong, then you lose all your life. Then you're dead.
But he has armor to compensate for that, and he has
Yeah.
that EX
Yeah,
run
but
parry
not when you
thing.
neutral jump. If you neutral jump
Well,
that EX
yeah.
run, he
Yeah.
gets eaten up, and that's what that
So-
Honda player was doing to him.
And it sucks because, like I said,
because the way. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Will. Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
No, I was saying the reason why is because he plays autopilot too much, and like
Yeah, he does auto.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
know what he's gonna do before he even does it, and then that's what kind of frustrates him. But that's gonna go into him just needing to improve his mental state when he's playing, so he won't get too tilted when things don't go his way. Because like
The th-
he was way up past the score.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
All of a
4-1.
sudden, he started coming back, and I was like, "Why is this dude coming back?" And then I was like, "Oh no, he's tilted."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah."
It's over.
Really, I mean, he's got, credit where credit's due. I think he has the highest ceiling out of almost anybody on this list when he really feels like playing seriously.
I don't know about that. We'll see.
Uh, I think, I think he can beat a lot of people, especially in short sets, right? He
Yeah.
can beat a lot of people in a first to 2, first to 3. Uh, and if he's on point and he really wants to sit down and play, uh, he can actually be incredible. You know, when
Okay.
it's and,
I
and
agree
I
with
and I
that.
and I know it's a little bit hard for y'all to see because y'all played them. We've all played them thousands of times, right? So we have a better idea of what they're going to do. But when you look at even at majors, right? A
Yeah.
lot of these people aren't going against the people that they've played two, three, four, 5,000 times. They're going against somebody they might
Yeah.
have played a couple of sets against in a couple
Yeah.
of majors or a couple times online.
Yeah.
And he's really good in those short form sets. He's almost a master at it, right, dude? He's got more resets than almost anybody else knows. He knows all of this math, but at the end of the day, it can kind of hold him prisoner, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with a lot of these other characters that go into it expecting your opponent to play a certain way, and then when they come out not playing how you're expecting them to, especially in a longer set, you kind of fall apart. I think when he's on point, he's high A tier, and I've seen him have days where he's C or D tier.
So
That's
Yeah,
yeah.
really
I've seen him take his time, and like I've told him from the beginning, this is not a race to kill someone.
right.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not. You have 99 seconds, and you don't even have to kill him. You could just have more life
He
than that at the end, and you win.
he literally has the best character for running down the clock. He has
It's
like
it's
11.
it's not
Like
about like I wouldn't say it's about him playing lane. It's about him understanding certain things and adjusting his like mindset and his play style to fit the opponent. Because he could walk around and play lane all day, but the
yeah.
way he played lane, like when I see him play, or whenever I play him and he tries to play lane, it doesn't work because I have an understanding of like the timing of when he likes to do stuff. And I told him about this. I'm like the timing, like and like there'll be times where like oh we're playing, this man will like walk forward and like at the same time he'll hit like stand jab or like walk forward hit crouching jab. What do I do? If I see him standing, I walk forward, I match stand roundhouse. He gets crush countered, and in this game, a crush counter is demoralizing. And
Yeah,
I purposely do stuff like that to kind of like. I mean, I know it sounds kind of like like bad, but like I purposely do stuff like that to say, hey, look, what you're doing is like I'm making it obvious that like, hey, you need to adjust this. And then he'll walk forward, maybe he'll crouch jab. I'm like, oh, bet you hit crouch jab there. I mash crouch strong ex kunai. And I told him I was like, and I said this in the chat when he lost to Mario DB. I was like, that dude. He was like, that dude wasn't doing anything that I wasn't doing to you. And I told him that. I was like, he was worth punting my crouching jab. What, dude? I was making it obvious to you that I was doing it. Right? Because it's not that hard. It's just because of the timing that you're doing it at. Like your
Yeah.
timing. He doesn't have an understanding of how to like change up his timing and rhythm against like players. And so
Well, and I think a lot of that just comes from an experience too, because I mean, as far as I know, he is the newest player on this list, right?
besides
but
Drew.
that I would say
True.
that
Oh yeah, but
it's not really an experience thing because again,
oh, 100%.
I don't think so because I would say out of everybody here, as far as like probably on like the A list, besides me and Chacon uh, and Siren, I don't think that they I have as much. Yeah, I don't have as much experience as you guys, but it's one of those things that like you have to kind of feel out in neutrals. Like you have to feel it, and it doesn't come by experience. It becomes by paying attention to detail,
Mhm.
and he doesn't pay attention to the details, and so
Yeah,
stuff
but
like
I
that
mean,
he doesn't see that.
we're kind of splitting hairs
Yeah.
here because I think the ability to understand what details you need to pay attention to does come from experience. Like learning to
Yeah,
learn is a skill on its own, right?
yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
that.
Like learning how to learn and doing it efficiently comes from experience.
Yeah, I'll just disagree on that, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
no,
Because
that's fine.
I don't think it's like I said, I don't believe it's experience. I believe it's a lack of commitment to it. Now with experience it will heighten, but like when you don't have like a commitment to it and and when you see stuff that happens to you, and then all of a sudden, like, oh man, this person's doing this, and then you just get you just start getting in the rut in the mindset. Hey, that like, nah, I wouldn't. That was not me. I can tell you that straight up.
But
But
yeah, I mean, it's really just consistency.
yeah,
Yeah.
consistency
That's
and
what you're starting
consistency.
to see at this tier is consistency, mental fortitude, experience.
Yeah, if he just needs to work on his mental guard breaking. That's really what's getting him.
Yeah, and
So
William Fong is at the top. This is Houston Street Fighter players, so he's just using the basic Street Fighter 5 tier list, and we're ranking people based on their main. So the characters represent the player who uses that character the most in this area. It's not the character themselves.
All right, who's next?
I think that's basic. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Easy. Where'd you guys
easy
place him?
peasy.
Easy.
Man. So here's my thing about Easy. Easy is an amazing player. Like, he's good with Ryu of all people,
Yeah.
for one thing. Um, he has solid footsies. I've played him a lot, but I haven't seen him out playing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And life happens, so we'll go with that. And as you notice, I'm speaking a little bit louder. I'm holding my son now, so
Yeah.
just wanted to be clear.
Right.
But he's solid and everything like that. I played him in a long set and I got him. Like I beat him maybe like if we played to 15, I might have beat him like 13 times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it wasn't to the effect where, oh yeah, I'm just beating this guy. It was to the effect where it was close every single time. He's very solid when it comes to spacing, understanding what he needs to do in the situation, and how to handle it. Um, all the way around, I think he's a solid player, and to be able to do that with a character like Ryu, that means that he definitely has an understanding of what's going on, and with the limits that he had thrust upon him with that character, you know what I'm saying? He's
Yeah.
still able to make it work. I think he's a solid B tier
That
player.
the one time I saw him play at Red Bull, he almost beat Cheeks from Dallas, and that was right after Cheeks got what fifth place at Kumite in Texas. So
Yeah.
he definitely can take on some of the best players, but I think being a Ryu main hurts.
Yeah. So yeah, I got no
Yeah,
problem
that's just my opinion. You know.
putting him up there in B tier. Yeah. So yeah, B tier. So yeah, I mean, that pretty much contests. Nah, I think that probably, I don't know. That I think that might wrap up the B tier. Or
Yeah, I think it does too.
Yeah.
okay, so
It's
Famous
the
the
answer,
answer.
William.
the answer.
Yeah.
Oh, you're missing one B tier. You got that Cammy player. Go and move him down one spot. Ah!
So
Damn.
now we have Vega for Mr. V. Where do y'all think he should be at?
Mr. V.
Yeah.
So he's definitely a family man.
Yeah.
When I first played Mr. V, man, he would body me because I didn't understand what was going on with Vega. I was using Ed trying to fight Vega, and you know that match is about as even as it came at the time. You know what I'm saying? And he would beat me because he was good at spacing. He understood what he needed to do and whatnot. But with that being said, like he would play when he could. He played a bunch of other games at the same time, and I think they took away from his overall skill.
Yeah.
With the character, when I play him now, like I feel like whenever I go into a match, that it's not gonna be too hard to, you know what I'm saying, to beat him, I just got to exploit certain things or look for certain things for him to do and whatnot. And I think he's just all right with where he's at because he's not really trying to improve. He just
Yeah,
plays to enjoy it. You know what I'm
he's
saying?
fine.
So yeah, I definitely think he's a solid C tier player. I think if we were doing it middle grounds, he would be top B tier. Like he's not like bottom C, but
Yeah,
since we're doing it like that, I would go with a C tier player, just because of the enjoyment of the game. He understands how to play, and he'll hurt you if you're not paying attention. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
That's definitely true.
Okay, yeah. I definitely feel that. Now,
Who are all
th-
these other players? Who the hell is Alex? Who the hell is Rashid?
those are not used. Those are characters that are just not used.
Okay,
This is
I
the
was
list
like,
right
what
here.
the fuck?
Next up is your boy Danny. Crap.
Nobody else gonna talk about C tier or Mr. B? Anybody else got nothing to say about him?
I mean,
I
He's
haven't
a
seen
good
him.
player. He always kicks my ass every tournament out of injured, so I ain't got nothing against him now.
Yeah.
I think he's right where he should be, to be honest with
yeah, it's fine. I have no
Yeah.
contention.
He's
So,
got one sleeper that'll catch you slipping if you don't know your knowledge. That's what
you. Yeah.
yeah.
He caught me slipping at Neil's one time. I had no idea who he was.
yeah.
Well, then again, Meyer caught you slipping at round 2 fight, so I'm just saying. Just saying.
That was my own fault for being stupid.
Bruh.
Yeah, that man's trying to steal around. But okay, so yeah, we got yeah, again, your boy Trap. Danny, you played him more than I have. And I played him that one tournament at when I played Bison. He didn't seem that bad as a Ken player.
Yeah, he's not a bad player. He definitely could be a better player if he played it more.
Yeah, I think
But when
so.
you're one of the top MK players in the country, why would you play Street Fighter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. But as far as his king goes, I mean, he ran it back on me once. We had a 1-5. I was up on him 4-0, and he took it to 4-4 last game, last round, and almost won. So that scared the shit out of me. I know he got pretty far at that tournament where I played D-Answer in grand finals.
Yeah.
I think he got like
Oh yeah, he also beat Trap. He beat I still or now Sevens as
Yeah.
well in the
yeah,
Ken
he
Mill.
beat Sevens
Yeah.
at Red Bull,
Yeah.
Nice.
you know. So he can play.
Yeah, like I said, yeah,
So I would definitely put him as a C tier.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
beat me at the HBR.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
He beat me at HBR. I was like, who the hell? And you know, I used Kage and Cody, and he got me and knocked me into losers. I was like, what? And then Herman came up to me. He's like, yo, he's the best kid in Houston. I was like, what? I was like, I don't know this guy. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, hey, he's got to be pretty good. You know, he's got to be pretty good. We didn't add S tier Shine to the list. That's right.
the only kid he's
Oh, stop.
that's just
Shine-
Shine's a
he
Houston
ain't
player now.
He ain't no damn
Yeah, he's
Houston
Houston.
player.
He just won ECT too.
Yo, Houston boys, Shine. Yeah.
So he came to Houston and he was doing well, but we got his ass at HBR. Made his ass bleed his own blood. I was like, there you go. So what we got?
All right,
We got
who's
Drew,
next?
we got Drew, you know the young blood, the new
What
young
about
blood.
Satan?
Blood.
Or
So Drew.
Drew slash well okay well yeah I guess Drew. I guess
Yeah, Drew.
Drew.
So Drew, I've only played him a handful of times.
Yeah.
But the last time I played him, we played a set online a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Very solid ground game. Like his ground game when I played him was pretty good. And I don't know if it's just because he had been playing a bunch that day or whatnot. I think I used Kage versus his Karen, and he had a good ground game to me. Like it was good for his level of play. You know what I'm saying? Like it was noticeable. He was spacing correctly and stuff like that. The thing about his gameplay is he didn't press buttons in situations where he should have been pressing buttons. Like he wouldn't press anything.
Yeah,
And so
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I played him like another time before that, and I told him the exact same thing. But then when I played him again, I saw that he was this was kind of recently. He was hitting a little bit more buttons, and he was
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
he definitely took the advice to heart. So
yeah. I think we
uh,
told him the same
yeah,
thing. That's what it was. Yeah,
yeah,
because he told me about that. Yeah,
yeah.
solid C tier to me, man. He's not gonna be there very long though. He'll be a B tier
Yeah, he'd be
B
up there.
tier player in
And
no time.
he's
No time.
improving faster than almost anybody else I had seen, man.
Yeah,
I felt bad like when we got to play recently because, he's working on his ground game and fundamentals, and I come swooping in with Dawson.
It's Dawson.
And he's not at the point where you really start to learn intricacies and matchups, especially against
Yeah.
weird off the wall characters like Sim.
yeah,
But I was able to tell him like, hey, like I know Dawson's dive kick pressure can be pretty bad, but you can option select a punish timing to where if you block it, your button doesn't come out, and if they whiff right in front of you, you get that button out. He goes, all right, cool. And he's the kind of person that takes that kind of advice and just immediately implements it into his game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This dude's gonna be climbing tiers fast.
yeah.
that's
Definitely.
that's if he sticks with the game and still plays it.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
he
he's
doesn't get
kind of
caught
isolated.
caught up in
Doesn't-
that doesn't get caught up in that league vortex.
Well,
I
Yeah.
mean, he
I
mentioned
hate
another
that game.
another guy that I guess I forgot to put on here, and that's Spicy Fetus. Yeah, School Vortex too. I mean, I guess he doesn't play since he plays Chun, and we already got Chun cover. I guess I can use Sakura.
Okay.
Where would he be? Where y'all think Spicy Fetus is at?
I haven't played him.
Oh, you haven't played him?
I don't even think I've even seen the kid, to be honest.
No,
you know what?
juices. No.
Shut up! You don't you even start it. Don't you even start.
We came to the consensus we weren't playing with him.
we already
We discussed this behind the curtain.
we've already
Yeah.
discussed this. Nope. That Shannon Sharp meme where he's like, nope.
He's too busy trying not to get meatied. We can't even.
Okay, look,
Oh my
look.
God.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Okay, Spicy Fetus and Drew are D tier.
Okay.
Okay, this isn't saying that they're bad, but Drew has won one match in his entire Street Fighter V career in tournament. I'm just telling facts. I'm not making shit up.
Yeah, no, that's facts.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not making shit up. This is true. And there's no way can you say that he would beat Mr. V has beaten me in tournament. Trap Hustler has beaten Steve, and he's beaten the Sevens. Do you honestly think Drew would be anywhere near beating me or Sevens or Steve in tournament right now?
No.
No, not right
No.
now. No.
That's
So-
I'm not putting him
Yeah,
down,
no,
but he is
objectively, yeah, you're right.
he is a D tier with Spicy Fetus because they're in the same boat. They're learning the game. I don't even think they've been
No.
playing Street Fighter
Him and
V for a
Spicy
year.
Fetus are in the same boat. Him and Spicy Fetus are not in the same boat. I might
No?
not have met Spicy Fetus, but I think I have seen him play. He was a
Spicy
Colleen
Fetus
player.
won a game. Spicy Fetus won a game in San Antonio.
He's a Colleen player, right?
No, he
Something like that?
plays Chun.
No, he plays Chun.
Okay, yeah, maybe not then. I do not think from San Antonio, yeah, but now, no, I think it's different. He's improved a lot. I think I stick by him being C tier. Spicy Fetus, I don't know, but I don't agree with that, and it's only because I played him recently. Now, you comparing his skill level to our skill level is completely different. We play in a different zone. That would be like if you tried to stick one of them against one of the S tiers as well. Like, what
Yeah.
would you think was going to happen? We have an arsenal as far as character knowledge and
Trap
character
put
matchup
one of the
experience.
best S tier players in Texas in losers, and he's a C on our list.
You're talking
Yeah.
about Sevens,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right? But Sevens plays Ken and Trap plays Ken. There's
Yeah, I
there's
know.
a difference in that, and Trap actually plays the game. He's not just starting out
Yeah.
as far as that goes. So I'm not. Only reason that's not void is because, or void, that's not valid is because he has an experience against that particular character with that, and he knows how to play, and he had been playing. He might play it sideways, but now actively, as far as fighting an opponent, he can do it. And yeah, he beat me, you know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is, he understands how to fight that character. He knows how to fight Sevens because
Yeah.
Sevens mains Ken, and so he gets that as far as that goes. I can't put him. I can't. So with that, I can't put Drew as a D rank player because he's a C rank player to me because of as far as he's come, how he applies himself to the game, and what
but
he's
it's not
actually
about
got.
applying yourself to the game. It's about results.
It's not just about results because if we go by that knowledge, then technically I would be a C or D rank player. But
Yeah,
I could
tech-
No,
still.
you're not.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes, I
If you,
have.
yeah,
Yeah, yes, I would. I would
You would have
technically.
won. You got
I w-
third place at Lights Out just a few months ago. Last
So I
month,
did get that, and I won the. I won
you
the-
beat two of the best ranked Texas players in the tournament.
Yeah, and I won the last HBR. That's cool.
Yeah,
but the
without
fact
losing
that-
a game. So
or
you're
not
definitely in
not
the right spot.
HBR Space City. But
Yeah.
the thing that I'm trying to get at
You're
is
saying like historically he hasn't had the
Yeah.
results compared
Yeah.
to me, you,
yeah,
uh,
exactly.
you know.
My
But
my peers,
lately,
if you will.
but lately,
You know what I'm saying?
besides the answer, he's had better results than us.
So
He did better in the San Antonio tournament that we went to.
Okay.
Steve beat me to put me in losers. Then he beat 2D to put him out of the tournament. And then he got second place. At Lights Out, he got third place. He only lost to D Answer. And we all know if he would have got past D Answer, he would have smoked Sevens.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, you can't really rank anybody based on future potential because there's no promise that that's ever gonna come to fruition. You know.
That's why I'm saying you can't put Drew
Yeah.
in C tier.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I
okay.
I think objectively he is D tier,
Okay.
but that doesn't mean he's bad.
Yeah, he's not- he's
it
not
doesn't
bad.
mean he's a bad player.
Well,
like
no,
I
I
said,
don't
He's
he's
not
one
a
of the
bad player.
but-
he's one of the fastest improving people who's ever picked up this game.
and that's
that I've
why
seen.
and that's why I credit him as a C tier. I mean, we might not
Yeah.
agree, but if the consensus is that he's D tier, then he's D tier. You know what I'm saying? I think personally he's a C tier player because of, I played him recently.
Like
But
right now, just in my opinion, you got Urian, AJ, and Kool-Aid Gill. They would both beat Drew, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because AJ's been playing. Kool-Aid rarely plays.
I
But
know,
if you
but
ask
st-
him to play, he'll play.
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
AJ's been playing, and he's actually picked up another character. I think it's Guile.
oh lord,
Oh.
well yeah, because he's getting smacked with Urian. I know every time I play AJ, I whoop his ass, and it's not like it's not close either, man. It's like and I
Yeah.
only reason I say that is because he shit talked me one time. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we
So
all
every time
here
I-
beat AJ, but I think we all know who doesn't beat AJ.
Who is it? What's he playing? Who's he
Oh
playing?
man.
Y'all know I had to sneak this guy.
Yeah, that was a
This man,
damn.
he's been cooking me all day in the chat. I had to cook.
All right. So who's next? Will? Where we
Yeah,
gonna put
we
Will?
got Will.
C tier.
I
and
think
here's
Will
why.
is a solid C tier.
Yeah.
Okay.
So most dope Will, he's definitely, for one thing, through the dopest there is, all things are possible. So make sure you put that on there. But from every time I play Will, like there's a inherent danger there because I don't know what Will knows. Will is very knowledgeable, but he keeps it on the hush hush. So you don't know what he knows in comparison to what you think he knows. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? He plays Laura and Poison, and he plays them very competently. I seen Will beat Jan,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh shit. Are y'all watching? Will's about to beat Jan right now. I was like, holy shit. Right. And to watch him play, he has a very technical knowledge of his character and, very solid all the way around. The only
Yeah.
thing about it is when I watch Will play or play against Will, he seems kind of timid to pull the trigger on certain things.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, very solid, but when it's his time to press, sometimes like he'll do a sequence of trying to mix up. If you block the mix up, he slows down a lot. Like I remember playing him a couple of times, and we played, and he did a nasty mix up, but I blocked it, and he turned to me and he said, "You blocked that?" I was like, "Yeah, bro, I block everything. You ain't know?" Right? I might not have said that, but it was
you were
something to
thinking
the
that
effect
you're
of,
like,
yeah,
bro.
like I was like, yeah, no, blocking's my thing, bro. Like I play Ibukis, I play birdies, I play fucking just like blocking's my thing, and so, but he seems to turn it down when you block some of his stuff, and I think that hurts his game because it almost feels like he's afraid to press again afterwards.
Okay.
100%, like I said, I think he's very solid. I think he has a very good understanding and grasp, but I also think this game is like his third game that he plays or something like that.
Yeah.
So he's
Least.
not,
Yeah.
yeah, he's not like,
I've always told him that if he would just
yeah,
stick to Street
he's not
Fighter,
really
he would
dedicated
be
to it.
He'd
Yeah,
be a
would
lot
be
better.
a solid A tier.
and I agree with
But if
Juices.
if you want to play 3-4
He-
games, that's your right. There's nothing wrong with
I
that.
think I agree with Juices though. He plays honest with a dirty Brazilian character, and you should not be doing that.
Yeah.
She is designed to be distracting in every aspect. You have a physically attractive character. You have a character that has extreme mix up, and you play her like she's Guile. Nah, bro, that's not it. That ain't it. You know what I'm saying? So that ain't it. Other than that, man, I think solid play all the way around. So I give you a solid C tier just because of your dedication. Like I said, it's like your third game you play, and because I think you let off the throttle at the wrong time, you know. And I think matchups, and I think in the back of your mind, if you know a matchup is bad, it messes up your thought process
Yeah.
when you try to apply it to the matchup. It's like, oh, this is a bad match. So then you want to take things extra slow, but the person doesn't know what you know. They might just be afraid of Laura. You know what I'm saying? And it gets you killed because you're not willing to play your game. You're playing the matchup instead. So
Yeah.
that's how I feel. I think you're a solid C though.
Yeah, I totally agree with a solid C.
Yeah, C is fine with me. I got no objections to
Yeah,
that.
he's demolished so many people on this list before.
Yeah.
I mean, what? It doesn't matter. If you're doing a first to 10, if he loses that, so what? He's one of the people who you can genuinely be scared of because, like you said, Steve, you don't know what he knows going into it. He could whoop your ass and turn over and look at you and go, "It's match up 6-4, by the way. Just do this." You're like,
Yeah.
"Oh crap, what?" But yeah,
Yeah. No
Solid.
objections to that.
All right.
All right,
What
now
we
on
got?
AJ.
Oh man. AJ fucking Tucker. All right. So here's my thing about AJ Tucker.
Somebody
Right.
tag AJ in this real quick.
So, all right. So I played the guy.
Yeah.
He knows frame data, and there's matches that he doesn't know, and it's really bad that he doesn't know them. So when I when I met him, I think I went to that tournament in it was where they had the pets and shit. Also,
Oh, the Beaumont team.
Beaumont tournament. That's what it was, right? So I went down there and we played, and I think I can't remember who I lost to. I think I lost to Jan and somebody else.
I
can't
think it
remember who
was
I lost to.
Jan and me.
Yeah, maybe you
Yeah.
and Jan.
Yeah.
Right, and I was using Colleen. I was using V Trigger 1. and I think Jan beat me. I think he beat me 3-0 or something like that. But it wasn't like a cold 3-0. It was
Yeah.
like, you know, match set every time we played.
Yeah.
And I remember I was heading out, and one of the guys was like, "Hey man, yeah, good playing you." Or he was like, "Man, you did pretty well." I was like, "Yeah, I got beat, but it wasn't that bad." He was like, "You got 3-0. That's the definition of bad." AJ says this, right?
Oh yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, "Who the fuck are you?" Right? You know? And so after that, I was like, "Okay, bet. Every time I fight him, I'm gonna dog him every time." And I have every time we've played.
Okay.
He hates Honda matchup. He hates. I I played Cody. He didn't know how to do that matchup. I played Colleen, and he gets like psyched out. I don't say that to bash him, but I'm starting with the bash because I'm not for him as much as I am for other players. Just because when I met him, he talked shit to me initially. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't think he's a bad player at all. Um, but I think when he doesn't know something, he doesn't know it hard, and it really affects his gameplay because his thought process is the numbers game like Joel's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's thinking about frame data and oh, this is a bad matchup,
Yeah.
or if I lose, it's because this matchup bad type OS type stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And uh, when I played him last, I picked Honda and he used Gil. I was like, don't you play Urian? I was like, Urian's a, a much better character than Gil. Like, I know this for a fact. It hurts, right? And and he was like, no, I like Gil better in this matchup. And I was like, well, can you explain why? And he was like, I just do because I think it's a better matchup for Honda. I was like, okay, no, I'm not fighting you on that, but I don't understand your logic to it, but
Hmm.
okay, And I think he was just looking at like data, like how you handle things, and opposed to like looking at data is like technically this character would beat this character because he has this particular move or some bullshit like that, and opposed to playing his opponent. And I don't think he plays his opponent. I think he just plays the
Yeah.
character, and it's gonna leave him trapped down there all the time. You know what I'm saying? So overall, I personally, I think he's a low C tier.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
low C
I think he's a
tier.
low C tier player. Um, so that's my thoughts. I'm sure you guys have known him longer than I have. So
Yeah.
somebody
I mean.
else say something.
I think the thing about AJ is he knows how to play fighting games. We all know that in Marvel he's fucking A tier. You know,
Okay.
Yeah.
for sure everybody knows that. Top 8 at final round, you don't make a top 8 at a tournament like that without being good. But I don't think he plays enough Street Fighter 5 to be any higher than a C tier because he's playing Urian.
Hey man.
Yeah.
You
From
know,
what from what Will's saying, he's been playing.
well, I
So
mean that. I
he
mean,
been playing
sure.
recently. So
Well, that doesn't mean crap because he hasn't done anything. Let him play in Lights Out or something, and
he
you
did.
know.
He
And what
played
do
in
you
this
do?
one.
He didn't get far.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
that's
didn't
right.
get
He
far.
did play like
So
yeah.
He got mopped
see, I
up.
didn't
Did
even
he
know he
really?
played.
That's right. Yeah, he did play.
Yeah, he did get mopped up.
Yeah. So
Right.
C tier. Bam.
Okay. CT.
You know.
Didn't he play
Facts.
Joel also in a first to 10?
Facts
And
over feelings.
Joel mopped him pretty good too, right?
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah,
remember
Yeah.
and
watching.
and that's a credit to Joel because when they first played, AJ would mop him,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and but Joel's gotten a lot better, so now he wins the match. But I think AJ's perfectly fine at C tier.
Yeah. C tier. And now we have, and then there was one, Mr. Kool-Aid.
Well,
Mr.
actually, I kind of want to
Kool-Aid.
hear what Austin has to say about AJ and Will too.
Okay.
I got nothing personally.
Okay.
Okay.
What about you, Will?
I mean, the times I did play him, it was back, way back at Coral Sword. Like, he always beat me, but I mean, I think if he actually like just stuck to it
and not try to, scrub people out or whatever, I think he would be a better player. Like definitely. Like if he just took the time and actually learned stuff with Urian, then he'd be really good.
Okay, yeah. See, I see is good enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Whatever.
that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, that's fine. That's it. Now Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid.
I
All
would put
right,
him at
so
C.
yeah, okay, so
If
here's
he
my
was
thing.
still playing Balrog, sorry to interrupt you, bro. If he was still
No, go
playing
ahead.
Balrog, I think
He'd
he
definitely
could
be
be
B.
a
B.
B.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's really good with Balrog. I don't know why he wants to play fucking Gil.
Because Gil is fucking cool, bro.
He's a
Don't
bard.
Yeah,
He's
he
a-
is cool. He is
He's
cool. He's definitely a cool character.
He's red and blue.
Yes, that's very true.
God
But
damn it.
he's when we played our first of 5 on HBR stream and I knew he picked Gil, I was like, thank God, because if he picked Balrog, it would be a lot harder.
Oh man.
If he's playing Gil, he's a C tier. If he's playing Balrog, he's a B tier.
So I know
That's
he
my
uses-
answer.
He
Okay.
uses Balrog in certain matchups because I've played him where he's using Gil, and so here's my thing with juices, or damn, not juices, Kool-Aid,
Kool-Aid.
drinks everywhere, right? So whenever I would play Kool-Aid, we go back and forth because he's unorthodox.
Yeah.
So I'd play him, and I'd legit be like, oh, fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like he could just beat me because some crazy shit would happen, and it would be in his favor. And we were going back and forth for a little while because I was
Yeah.
using Ed, and he was using Balrog, and he would beat me, and then we both started playing G at the same time, and we went back and forth on that. But then Cody came out,
Yeah.
and I started just mopping him every time we played. I'd mop him every time we played, and he gets tilted. Like if you beat him,
Oh yeah,
He
I
gets-
know.
he gets tilted
He's like,
real
Yeah, he
bad.
gets tilted too quick.
And it would affect his gameplay, and I'd be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I could see this, and he's the dude. I like the dude, so I'd be like, yo, you gotta calm down when we're playing, dog. Like straight up. Like,
Yeah.
and even if it's in tournament, like in mid match, I was like, yo, you gotta calm down, dog. Like, you're not gonna beat me if you're acting crazy. You know what I'm saying? And he would get tilted when we played, and he got Gil. And I was like, yo, no, I play that character too. You know what I'm saying? But he hates Honda just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And like I could beat him at the character select screen. I could literally pick Honda and I could see the emotion drain from his face.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, shit. You know what I'm saying? And so when it comes to him, man, I think he's a solid player all the way around. He knows what he needs to know. He understands how to play and what he needs to do it. But I think with his style of play, he's too unorthodox to where it'll get him killed, in a lot of aspects. Like he'll do things that he's trying to mix up. He'll try to mix up too much. And it's like you could have just taken the damage and won there, but you tried to go for the mix up and it got you killed. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody accidentally blocked here or somebody did something you weren't anticipating, in most situations, and it gets him killed. So I think he's a C tier player because I know he doesn't play this as often anymore. But just, I think he's definitely, like you said, B tier with Balrog, but C tier with Gil. And
Okay.
I mean, I don't think anybody could be higher than C tier with Gil right now, anyways. But I'm interested to see how strong everybody is when season 5's balance patch comes out and they change up some of the stuff, So, and I think he'll definitely benefit from it just, in general. So I think he's a solid C tier player.
Yep. No complaints for me. C tier it is.
Pretty much covers it. Now, before you finalize this list, I want you to do a big favor for me, all right?
Okay.
All right, I want you to, Dalsum or Seth, whichever one you want to pick. I would prefer Dalsum, right?
Okay.
I want you to drop him right in the D tier.
Okay.
All right. That's me.
That's your.
That's me right
Okay.
there.
All right.
Because I know where I stand, right?
All right.
With the caveat that I'm an S tier support, not F tier, S tier support player, right? You need somebody to cheer for you, need somebody to coach you, you need somebody to help you out. I got you. Putting up results, I'm trash. I am garbage at this game, right? I play like once a week, maybe, and that's if somebody decides to say, "Hey, you want to get a set in?" Yeah, cool. I got you.
Javi. Um. So, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I think you're a C tier player at least.
Wait,
I
what?
think you
What's
can.
up?
I think he's a C tier player, and I say this because
You said you called him. you mean
Oh, you did. You did
Austin?
call me Javi.
I said, wait, what?
no,
I was
no,
like,
no,
what?
no, no. I was looking in the chat, and they said I think we forgot somebody, and I was like, we forgot Javi. But
Oh,
then
okay.
I started talking about him, so no. This is for Austin. I think I play Austin. I could say the most in the people in this chat right now. I played him the most. Um, he's a C tier player,
Okay.
and this is why.
Okay.
Austin knows most of the matchups, and if he doesn't know them, he is like, if not better, than you 2D at analyzing matchups. He's extremely efficient at doing that. Um, so if he's losing a matchup and you wait an hour and you come back, he's learned something new about that matchup that helps him progress in that matchup. I've played this man. I know this for a fact. So he's C tier in my book because he understands what needs to happen to get it done. Anybody in this C tier list, he can beat clean. He could beat anybody in the C tier list. He's a C tier player. He might think himself as D tier because of the amount of time that he plays, and maybe he's just gauging himself against who he plays against. But I can tell you for a fact, I think he's a C tier player. And if you've seen him play, and if you've played against him, I think you would all feel the same as well. Um, so that's how I feel about that. Uh, he might think otherwise, but I think the reality of it is he plays Dawson and he plays Seth, bro. Come on. So if you put a C and an A together, you see, or if you put a D and an A together, you still get a C. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't. I don't think Sim's that bad. He just got
So,
those big weaknesses. But
but I think he's a C. I think you're a C tier player, bro. I do, and
all
it's
right,
because
all
I
right.
felt your skill level and I've played against it, and you make me think about what I'm doing, and I can't condition you, and I don't. When it comes to trying to condition you, it's not a thing that we can do easily. Plus,
The amount of time you'll spend sitting there shimmying, I'm just watching you. Like,
yeah, I'm just like, I
what
was
you
like,
gonna do?
okay, yeah, right. So, and quick learner, you know what I'm saying? Plus,
Yeah.
you tilt people on this list rather easily. So
Oh
we're just
yeah,
gonna, yeah.
I seem to remember him tilting one Mad Gear. So yeah,
He's a
Yeah.
C
so
tier player.
putting him on C tier,
All
He's a
right.
C tier
All right.
player. So,
up there. I mean, I know they
Okay.
were saying, I don't know, the y'all want to cover. You said, Javi C tier, so we put him up there.
Javi C tier.
With
He
the
used to
Kuma.
be a lot better when he played. Nah, it's Poison now. He doesn't play
Well,
Akuma anymore.
yeah, okay, yeah, poison.
When he was an
Yeah.
Akuma player, I think he was actually a little bit better because his character permitted it.
Yeah,
Plus, Javi has good execution.
I think
Um,
he's more solid now that he's playing Poison. Actually,
I
he's
believe
actually really made a lot of
I agree
changes to
with
his
that.
fundamental
I
gameplay.
do believe that. I just say I think he's better because Akuma is better. But if he played Akuma how he plays Poison now, definitely a B tier player, 100%. Like
Yeah.
from what you've taught him, Austin, to how I've seen he's played. You know what I'm saying? He'd be B tier. I think he's C tier now because he hates Honda and he makes it visually obvious.
oh yeah,
He
And
he does.
he hates a lot of characters.
I
You
know he
know,
hates Honda for a fact, though.
like
Like,
he hates some characters so much that he'll play characters he's not good at just because they're better at fighting them. Like when I started
yeah,
learning Dalsim, he got so mad he picked up G. and that matchup sucks. I hate that matchup. But
So
I mean, he's also, the one thing that holds him back is something we forgot about too is emotion.
yeah, yeah, no, he gets his emotions. He wears them. Um, he has his moments though, like sweep into demon. Somebody was there for that. Bruh,
I seen him beat
there's a
somebody with sweeping a demon.
man,
That
and
that that was on stream too.
That was
yeah,
actually.
there's a clip of that, and Herman, your face was amazing. You were like, what? What? What the
He
fuck?
had the face of like, I can't believe he just did this.
I was like, okay. I mean, it was one of those like interesting.
It was so funny though. Your face was like, shit. Okay. It's like,
Shidoshi,
I was
I
like,
don't
this is
know.
what we're doing, huh?
Real
So-
age. I see him playing anime games mostly. I haven't seen him.
I play Jury.
Wait, hold on.
yeah.
This
Whoa,
man.
wait,
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. This man
What?
jumps into
Against
the call.
parents?
Oh my
Yeah.
god, he's here!
Yeah, I'm right here.
The call was coming from inside the house.
Yeah. This man finds the screen.
Yo,
who
he
is
said,
this?
"Let
I
me
just
in."
saw him pop up.
Yo, what's going on?
This man pops up out of nowhere.
I saw y'all in here, and I was like, oh, let me just come through real quick, see what y'all talking about.
Yeah, we're creating we're in the middle of filming a podcast
Oh,
live. It's live,
I see.
and we're talking right now. We're currently making the tier list of players.
Oh, in our like.
Oh, okay. So
Houston
uh,
season?
I think that's a pretty good question. Now this one, okay. You know our okay. How much time do you guys have? I mean,
We got all night, baby.
The national level? That's S tier.
Yeah, I think that's a.
no. He said. Well. Okay.
Who do you think?
Who do I
Kinsu?
think? I'm gonna give you the people that I think
Not you, 2D. Kinsu. Who does he think?
within Texas.
No, within
Within
Houston.
Houston.
Within Houston.
No, 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 no.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's
Yo, hold on. Why don't you pop up in the chat? Why don't you pop up in the
Yeah, you
Discord?
might as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah, we in the Houston FGC Discord.
I don't think he's in there.
Yeah. Pop. Yeah.
You sure?
Probably have to set up a room.
You can put the jury one on D real quick.
Oh, we'll put you a D tier.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think
'cause
I think
I mean,
I think anybody who sticks
Kinsu
with
says
jury
he's
goes in
not in
C
there.
Oh, you're not in there?
at least.
I've been playing jury since she fucking came out.
Oh, damn.
I played her for a day and dropped her, and then cried for my loss.
Tough years.
Yeah, no kidding.
Don't I know it? I was an Ed player, bro. I know.
That's it. I like her standing medium kick though. That's
Every jury player loves that fucking button.
that's a pretty good button. Other than that, I don't know.
It's so good that some jury players wake up with it. It's stupid.
Okay, so he said he was asking us. Okay, so who do you okay. Like just
Honestly,
On a
for me,
national?
I'd say D.
S tier. I mean, basically that's the way I'm looking at it, right? S tier, the character or the players that you're most expecting to place on a national level, whereas A is more like regional. You know, I can't see the list anymore.
oh, sorry about that.
I mean, honestly, like y'all are good, but I don't see anybody other than S tier placing on the national level officially.
I don't know if
right?
y'all wanted me up in here on that question, man. I don't know.
Oh, he slid up in here real quick.
I don't know.
Wait, hold on. Who's breathing like that?
Man, we breathing kind of hard over here.
Yo, whose mic is that?
Might want to hit up that push to talk for a second, there, big fella. All good.
Yeah. All right.
Well, why you asking me, Danny boy? I asked a legitimate question in the chat.
I'm just wondering who you think. That's it. That's all.
I mean, it sounds like you know what I want to say. That if you ask me,
no, I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
You sure? You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Honestly, so I should preface this because I don't think only like a few people up in here know who I am. Obviously, I'm one of the OGs here in this city. So
yeah,
that's for damn sure.
I've seen you guys do work, and like, if I'm to be clear, totally like honest. Obviously, you're S tiers. That's a given. That's a given. I think overall though, there's only 2 people in A tier that could do it. 3, actually, 3. There's only 3 in A tier that could do it. That's 2D, Juices, and Danny Boy. Off rip. Because they've all done work. The only downside is the weakest of the 3 is 2D.
Yeah,
only because you haven't done anything out of state. And like, I like what y'all done here. I think this is great. And like, this is definitely a good way to kind of like check and see where everyone's at so you can pull everyone up together. Because your C tiers need work. The only person, well, not really. Just your C and D tiers need work. And the fact that you even have a Ryu shocked the shit out of me.
You had a Ryu?
I was like, man, I was just playing Ryu on CFN just the other day. I was getting my ass fucking spanked. I'm like, I'm going back to Seth. Fuck that.
And he master rank too. So he's been playing. So he's been
putting in work.
Yeah, putting in work with character.
It's just the best thing y'all could do right about now is to just get everyone together constantly as much as you can. You know, organize your little things and really just get some first to 10s, first to 5s going. I'm hearing people here don't have like the freaking stamina to go long sets, man. You talk about me. I will play you till you fucking pass out, bro. I'm from the old school, man. I will sit here and play you in the first to fucking pass out. Not a first to 10, not a first to 5, a
First to fall asleep on the stick.
First to tap out. It's called first to tap out. I will sit there and I'll do it. But like I can say like as an OG, and I don't really play Street Fighter like that. I mean, I'm starting to play it now, like a lot more now.
Yeah.
Like I'm definitely happy to see that you guys are still kind of going with it. I didn't know what was going on with the scene. I thought it was literally just like 2D and maybe like 3 other people at most. Because I was like, don't nobody play this shit like that out here.
See, this is why it was important for me to do this, you know, so people would know what's going on.
Hey, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, if it wasn't for me watching, because I've been watching your streams at late night. That's the shit that keeps me awake because I gotta, I'm always working on content now.
Yeah.
So like, I get to see, man, I get to see you play. I still think you kind of suck, but you know, that's just me being an OG because I want you to do better.
Yeah.
You know? I definitely want you to do better, and like, it's good to see that you guys are actually out here doing work because I might come in here and join y'all soon enough. I mean, we don't really have I mean, granted, anyone can play Seth, quote unquote, but I don't think y'all have a V Trigger 2 Seth main, so
no, we don't.
That would help out.
And and after yesterday, I ain't playing Seth anymore.
You said, who playing V Trigger 2 out here?
Just me.
Nah, my boy Austin plays V Trigger 2 Seth. I've never seen him play any other version of Seth.
My fault. I think I
don't like V Trigger 1. I mean, it's good though. I mean, I'm not going to try to say V Trigger 1 sucks. Seth's V system is just powerful overall.
Nah, yeah, I would say like I was talking with this about, and I'm not going to derail your stream too hard here. I apologize.
Nah, you're fine.
Just talking with 2D the other times recently, trying to show him like, hey, you learned that stupid ass setup.
Yeah,
that's fucked up, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That setup's jacked up. So like, you know, we've been talking a lot about Seth and the V triggers. Both V triggers are good. I just believe in Japan when they say like, I believe Japan in the sense that V Trigger 2 is like the way to go for most matchups, and then play 1 when it really matters, like Abigail, for example.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense.
We were talking about that in chat just last night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm really shocked. I've been listening to this whole thing this entire time. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers really be like working together on matchups and shit. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
I really be out here.
Yes, and me and Steve usually when we get together, we don't play first to 5, first to 10. We play first until our wife needs us to go do something.
Yeah, I
Straight
feel
up,
you on
until I
that.
gotta hold the baby, right?
Yeah.
I'm on that. I'm definitely. I understand that. I don't have kids. I got 2 dogs. Close enough.
There you go.
But you know, to whoever was playing the Cody, I was just like, I was reading the chat. I'm like, bro, stick to give yourself 2 characters and go ham, because you can't like, in order to compete. For example, because I know y'all gonna play in Texas Showdown.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna play in Showdown, you're gonna be playing against people that play like their main.
Pretty much.
It's really hard, in my opinion, to say who would be the best nationally because there hasn't been anyone traveling.
Oh no.
No, we're not talking about best nationally, but like who would do well nationally.
Who would
That's
do
what
well
I'm saying.
nationally?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
who
difference.
would
Like,
do
there's
the
difference
best
between the
nationally?
best.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not saying who would do the best nationally.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if you of this list, who would do well nationally. Like it's already clear Hamad can do it. It's not
Yeah.
even a question. He's done it
Yeah,
in
there
Guilty
wasn't-
Gear.
Yeah.
That he's not like that's not a question. I think I haven't really seen the answer play too much, but I know that dude's fucking sick. And
Yeah.
if he stopped playing that dumbass character, he'd probably do even better.
Yeah.
Well, that's
But-
the thing. That's his bread and butter right there. That character, and he is extremely good with that character,
Yeah.
and that's what
And-
makes him dangerous. It's the mix of unfamiliarity on top of,
High level thinking.
his thought process when he plays. So
And you'd
this
be
one-
amazed. You'd be amazed at how many top level players just still don't have matchup experience against Fong too.
Oh no,
You know?
I agree.
It's
I agree.
unreal.
I agree. I think it's just I believe very sternly in Street Fighter V, like having a top tier on your side will help you.
Yeah, like
Because
having a side pocket.
At
yeah.
least,
Oh, yeah,
at
most
least,
definitely.
at least in your back pocket. You know what I'm saying? And Juice is nah, don't even do that.
Or you
Juice
just
is
play Jerry.
He knows exactly what he's doing. This man been the fool in the chat. He knows exactly what he was doing.
Juice is that good. He be bugging. But no, like real rap. Like it's like, and the reason why I say that is because like the reason why I asked that question is because this is kind of another way to kind of like push you guys. Because one thing I had coming up, you know, we had like national level players like consistent like to practice with. Like I started with CVS too, and I had like players where I was able to to compete against like John Choi. You know what I'm saying? I was able to compete against fucking what's his name, John Choi, Valle, whoever was up there. You know, Arturo, all the Justin. I've played all those fools in tournaments CVS too. I did well against them. And it came from having that kind of competition, and that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. Like, to be honest, the 3 that I mentioned, I know that they can do it. Obviously, with 2D being the weakest, but that doesn't change the fact that like if given the experience, he can like. The reason why I say that is because you guys can get the proper level up from them getting the EXP.
Yeah,
I'm saying because that's what the Houston scene needs. Like, I legitimately had no idea Houston Street Fighter 5 was like this. I thought you motherfuckers were all scattered. Like one dude's in fucking Pasadena, one dude's in Galveston, the next dude's in Sugarland, the other dude's in K-Town, one dude's in Chinatown. Like, where the fuck you motherfuckers are at?
I mean, we are scattered, but like we're in
that is the
terms of
story.
It's more of a condensed scatter.
yeah. It's like we all in the same chat. We all talk to each other pretty much daily. So it's like we have more communication among our players, and so it makes it to where we're it doesn't feel as like scattered. And we do whenever we did have events, everybody was at least showing up. Like for the most part, if they didn't have anything in real life, everybody was showing up.
I'm like one of the biggest OGs here, and I had no idea this fucking Discord existed. That's actually kind of sad. But then again, I've been doing my own thing these days, so it's good to kind of see this because I am starting to play Street Fighter 5 a lot more now. So, but like I said, again, that's the reason why I asked that question, because like I do think that there's value to these players, because like if you guys aren't traveling, right? Let's say only those 3 are traveling, right? If they've been playing against Daigo, or like if like they get a long stint against like Momochi, you know, like one apiece, or like Fudo or any of the top player, like they can bring that knowledge back and be like, okay, this is what we need to fix, because it's a clear, like you can see the clear difference.
Yeah.
And the idea is just to not get scrubbed out at Showdown. Like if you can only compete on the local level / regional level, then at least you can get that much from them to tell you what you should work on. It's because it's easy to watch match videos and be like, okay, man, that was good. I want to do that. That's another thing to be like, okay, I need to freaking work on that because I'm weak at that. But you won't know that until like you get that level up. Which it sounds like you guys have been doing a really good job of that. It's just
I mean, I've had some experience with that because I did play Problem Man at Showdown. He was in my pool, and then after that we played a set, and he was talking to me about it. And I was talking to him about it. He was like, "Yeah, I think you're fine. I think you just need more experience." I was like, "Okay, yeah, yeah."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember. I remember videotaping that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I got most of my experience in Florida and California when I was
Mhm.
stationed out there. You know what I'm saying? I played Myers. I played Samurai. I played a couple other people also. So, and then in Florida, you know, we had CJ Truth, we had Knuckle Do. This is when I was bigger on the Street Fighter 4 days. I've been all around, man. I played OG in my community as well. So, like, I feel where you're coming from, and it's definitely good to build. That's why the characters I play now are more to aid the people, and opposed to trying to win for myself. Because Lord knows they'll go out there and they'll run into an obscure character and get fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I can't be having that, especially if I play the character. So, that's pretty much where I stand on that. I think my days of trying to get excessively good are over with. You know, now that I have two kids and I don't really do too much as it is now, but if I can benefit my community, it's by playing characters that they don't run into on an often basis. So,
hey, as long as you're content with that, that's fine. That's all that matters. If you're okay with that, that's all anyone could ever ask for you. No one's saying you gotta be the next Justin Wong or the next Punk, but I mean, if you're willing to make that effort, hey, who's to tell you that you're wrong? I guess my whole thing is just coming from the old school. We cared so heavily about playing on the national level,
Oh yeah. I mean,
and it's because I came from the arcade era. So
the thing about it is
yeah, you and
like
me both.
we don't have a gauge on what most people want to do, and I've mentioned this before to some of the people in the like I mean I mentioned it in passing. I say, hey guys, like what do you guys plan on doing? Like what is your goals? And like I mean I have my goals, you know, and not many people answer that. And so I'm like, man, and so it's kind of hard to put a gauge on who wants to do what. I mean, I know what I want to do, but everyone else, I don't know. That's
well,
it's
I
up
mean, you can't. It's too hard to ask that question because there's too many answers to that question. That's the reason why you can't get an answer.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that answer depends on like the feeling of that moment, and then sometimes people just actually have goals, and they can truly answer that once the goal has been made. But you're asking someone in the moment, like, what do you want? It's kind of hard. I mean, you ask yourself how many times you go to McDonald's, you look at the fucking dollar menu, and you ask yourself, man, what do I want to eat? How long do you sit there and look at it? Same type of deal.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're a player, I feel like if you're at least playing, especially playing for a while, you at least have some sort of goal. And it's one of those things where it's like there is a reason for you to be. There is a reason that you're playing, and it's not just to I don't know grind rank every day.
Some people just like to test themselves, and that's like it. I mean, at the end of the day, like, as long as you're willing to make that move to be better, I think that's all you could ask for. Because sometimes when you ask that question, it can turn into like a job. It can turn into like it can turn into something you don't want it to be, and that's when people kind of hit that breaking point. Just like this is not what I'm playing for, because it then loses its fun. Because in order to beat like Problem, in order to beat Punk, in order to beat Daigo, Mochi, et cetera, like you have to play on that level. You have to push yourself to get to that point. And if not everyone's willing to get to that point, then you have to accept that like they're willing, like everyone's playing for their personal reasons.
Yeah.
So that was going to be the next point of this. It's like, well, it's kind of crazy because you brought up that. So you really can't ask much from your fellow player. Like, if your goal, like, not everyone's goal is to beat Problem X and Punk and that like that. They just want to be good. No one wants to get scrubbed out. No one wants to accept defeat. But at the same time, you get what you put in.
I mean, we have some players with some pretty lofty goals, besides myself. Now, what they're doing to attain them, I don't know. But for the most part, I don't know what everybody wants.
Well, maybe now's the time to air out the dirty laundry, big fella. Or maybe not.
Well, most of these guys are, Steve already mentioned what he wanted. We already know what Austin is. I mean, I guess.
I make that pretty clear.
Yeah, he makes that pretty clear every day. That he's
super casual. That's why I never bother anybody for sets, because I don't. If I don't feel like it's going to be useful for you to be able to take in anything, I like playing casually. I like improving, but I don't care about improving to the point where anybody even knows who the hell I am.
Yeah,
I've got a whole other personal life, a lot of other stuff going on. I love Street Fighter. I love fighting games, but I don't like this game in particular enough to make that a goal for myself.
Don't worry, that's a lot of people.
But
broke the mold with that.
But the thing is, I still love studying the game. I love watching matches. I like improving, and if I do find something that I can share that makes it, worth somebody's time, I love that. I love being able to do that. It's the mind games, the math that goes on behind the scenes. That's all super interesting.
For sure.
I don't care, if I'm an encyclopedia and I can help somebody else, that's great. But if nobody at the end of the day, when Street Fighter 6 comes out, if nobody knows who I was, that's fine too. So
that's understandable. Well, I guess I could say as an OG, my thing was always, I just always wanted to be the best with my character. This way, no one can sit here and tell me, "Hey, you weren't the best." Like, no. I got receipts, big fella. There's no contesting that. I'm not. We can say top 5 discussion, top 3 discussion, but let's just save the discussion for the results, because no one else plays my characters. That was always my thing, and then I won. Then that changed. That changed pretty heavily. I mean, that the notion of still being the best with my character still meant a lot, but that was always my goal. Winning was just a bonus. So that was always why I played. But it sounds like the Houston curse still remains. We all still love our characters.
Yeah, I kind of still love my character, so that's kind
of. It's just a Houston. Listen, as someone, the longest running player probably in this chat from this scene, I've watched the scene grow from the arcade scene till now. It's just a Texas thing. We love our characters, and we love to rush that shit down. There's no two ways about it. I haven't seen a single, even in this game, it remains. We have some very patient players. We do. But given the opportunity to fucking go buck while I'm on the opponent, that'll most likely happen. Except for Will, because Will doesn't like to attack after he loses his mix-up.
Yeah. No, and then you got me, who I'll be the most patient person in a round, and eventually my brain just clicks and goes, "You need to dash up and DP this guy."
God damn it, Austin, that ain't the truth.
And it works because I'm so patient too.
It's just like, he's like, "You turn that on, bro? Come on, man! Like, what are you doing?
You're gonna tattoo me from half screen and it worked? What
full screen tattoo?
Didn't see that shit coming. Yeah, right.
My blood starts boiling, my veins start popping. I'm like, I got to do something real stupid, real quick.
Understandable.
For the longest time, you wouldn't wake up super, and I was just like, Austin, man, you got to wake up super once in a while, bro. You need to put the fear. You know what I'm saying?
That's the strat though. You don't do it at all. You don't do it for so long that when you finally do it, it's a 100% work. It's absolutely going to work. They're never going to see it coming. But anyways, I am retiring for the night. I am about to pass out.
Yeah, I think I'm getting there too, man.
Enjoy your night.
Later, everybody. Appreciate it. That's a lot of fun.
Appreciate it. Is there anything you would like to say before you go out to the people, to the stream?
Subway is not S tier.
Hold up. Hold
Yeah,
on, that
buddy.
should be coming in clutch at 1 p.m.
Nah,
nah,
player.
1 a.m.
Nah.
I mean,
I think if you falling back on a choice at 1 a.m., they ain't S tier. They just the only
Yeah.
motherfuckers that are still open.
Oh man.
But,
Meat City, baby.
Meat
Yeah.
City. Meat City.
All right,
Appreciate it,
fellas. Y'all
guys.
take
It's
it
a lot of
easy.
fun.
All right.
All right, man. Y'all have a good night.
Oh, the Jack in the Box. Yeah.
Nah, player.
No, Dave knows what's up with the tech. I told him the tech. Him and Austin, they
Oh,
know
yeah,
about
I
the
remember
tech.
y'all
Yeah.
talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
with
right,
the
brother.
tech. But yeah. Any final words, closing words before you leave?
Nah, man. You guys keep strong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we've been doing, we're being on the up and up. So keep working at it, man. It's a good community to be a part of. This is a good time now. So, yeah, man. Y'all be safe out there, and I'll see you when I see you.
Okay.
and there were 4.
I mean, and
Oh
so
wait, that's it. Oh,
yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I think.
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. You said it
I don't
pretty
know, I'm just
bestly.
trolling. I'm just trolling. I'm just trolling with you. Yeah.
Yeah, we did the tier list and we covered everything. I really appreciate you guys coming through this episode of the podcast. This was probably the most fun that I ever had recording one. I mean, I did do a couple of ones, but I think this is the most fun and the best because it shines a light on the Houston FGC because I think we need it because we are definitely coming. We're definitely coming. And we definitely going to take some heads. And so thank you guys for tuning in to this. I mean, this is going to be up on the YouTube as well. So the replay will be up on the YouTube. I'm going to take the archives down and put it up on there as well. So if you haven't already, guys, I would appreciate it if you hit the follow button on the stream so you can follow me for whenever I do go live, and also sub to the YouTube channel. I drop a link with that as well. Is there anything else? Anything you guys want to promote?
I'm not gonna promote myself on your stream.
Yeah.
I'm definitely
It
okay
feels
with that.
criminal.
I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, I offered, and so it is what it is. So take care, guys, and I will see you guys later.